open OBS for a while and it just did not connect my mic. But hey, konbanwa, minasan! Yahoo yahoo, it is I, Sushi's Nakobuwa Grand Panda! Live with you again today after like almost 2 weeks of not being live because I am a stubborn motherfucker that doesn't want to take her medicine. And even though I am sick, I have decided to still go out, mingle, and socialize, and absolutely wreck my body that's already struggling against a sickness that is not a fever, but it's still a goddamn sickness. So, yeah, I've been struggling. Eto ne. Oops. Oh, hold on. Why am I? Okay, there you go. I do have an explanation for the shit that happened to me last week. 2 weeks ago, actually. 2 weeks ago, I did stream like maybe, I think I streamed like once or twice 2 weeks ago, and then I streamed once last week. So this is the reason why. Okay, 2 weeks ago, I was starting to feel very sick. The sickness was mostly focused on my sinuses, my voice, and a cough. Like, I had common colds, essentially. I had common colds and common coughs, and it was starting to affect my voice. And I did want to finish a lot of the streaming, or like the yap for Transformers supposedly last week. But I wasn't prepared enough yet, and I also was getting a little sick, and I felt like if I continued, even though I wasn't finished yet, and also I was kind of sick, I feel like it was going to continue to become a full-on fever, which I couldn't risk. I couldn't risk a full-on fever. The attendance count for my clientele in my day job is too much. I can't risk losing the money. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to quiet down in my VTubing life, but do excess in my real life just so I can like at least get something back. And besides, the week that I did not stream 2 weeks ago helped me finish the presentation for this week, which I did start last week. Last week, I did do the first part of the IDW Transformers explanation, but I also had to cut that short for the entire week. I did not stream the entire week. The reason was, 2 weeks ago, like I said, 2 weeks ago, I was feeling down with the sickness, but the sickness wasn't completely shutting me down. Unfortunately, last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, I mentioned it during last week's stream that I went out the rest of the day with some of my friends. We went to Ocean Park, and immediately after that evening, the next day, I felt like I was kind of not there. I was just bed rotting the entire time. My throat was starting to hurt, and then for some reason, I did not feel like eating at all. And what ended up happening was, for the entire week, I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I was just trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with me. And around Tuesday, that's when I started feeling my throat was starting to, I was starting to lose my voice last Tuesday. And that's when I started doing a little bit of what's that called? Differential diagnosis. So okay, was my difficulty of breathing because my nose was clogged, and coughing because of the common coughs and colds that I have been raw dogging for like the past 3 weeks and not taking any medicine for, because I thought, hey, I could just probably let it run its due course and it'll be gone after a while. No. I was stubborn. I had to take medicine around Thursday this week just so it could disappear, and it's doing a lot better now. If I just immediately drank medicine 3 weeks ago, the snot and cough would have been gone immediately. But now with the coughs and colds, I found out that I was also having a really bad acid reflux. Why? I don't normally get acid reflux, but when I do, it fucks me over. So, what? This is probably the worst acid reflux I've ever had. Because I've never had the acidity hurt my throat when I'm sleeping. Essentially, what happened was, when we were in Ocean Park, we had lunch with my friends. We had this really, really sour, sinigang, which is a pork stew that's known for its sour soup because of the sampalok in it. And I like my sinigangs sour. It was really good, mind you. It was really good. But also during that day, I didn't drink a lot of water. So I had nothing to kind of satisfy, or nothing to kind of pacify the acidity that is currently stuck in my stomach. And then for dinner, I didn't drink water as well. I drank Coke Float, so it was both dairy and soda, which has another set of acid in it. Hello, Kame! Welcome to the stream, and Happy New Year to you as well! Konghei Fachai! Did I say that right? I feel like I butchered the Chinese or the Mandarin. Also, hello, Shooty! I'm sorry, I immediately went into a rant. I forgot to say hello. Good evening, Shooty, or good morning, or good afternoon. I know you live not here in the Philippines, but I'm not particularly aware. I think I do, but I'm not sure what your time zone is. I'm not getting down with the sickness. No, I'm not. I'm fighting it now. I'm fighting it. So, what ended up happening, like I said, that kind of fucked over my stomach. The next day, I didn't feel like eating at all. Like, I was getting hungry, sure, like, oh no, not really. If somebody told me I should eat, I will eat. My stomach didn't have any adverse reactions to eating. I didn't. Hold on, I need to get this out of my nose. Hold on. Uh-oh, I forgot it. Oh my god, I thought I turned off my mic. Uh-oh. You get the sound of me blowing snot out of my nose for free. I hope you're happy. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So then, Monday, I had no appetite to eat. Like, I'm fine eating. I didn't like puke it out or anything, so it's definitely not food poisoning. However, immediately after eating the food, I would shit it out in the toilet, and my shit was watery and starchy. It was kind of like having diarrhea without the low bowel pains. Because my stomach wasn't hurting. It was fine the entire day. But I did feel sickly or exhausted. I was not in the mood to move. I was supposed to do exercise, but I just went, nah, I just don't feel it. I walked like 15,000 steps last Sunday anyway, so it's fine to carry it over the next day, so it doesn't matter. And then come Tuesday, my voice was fucked. And then my upper stomach was starting to hurt. What else? I couldn't breathe. I was coughing really badly, and now I still didn't have the appetite to eat, but I could still eat. And I'm still shitting out starchy water. Hello, Envy. Welcome to the stream. And then I tried Googling, okay, what the fuck is wrong with me? Because I feel like if I sleep and I can't breathe through my nose, and I'm also hacking out so much cough, like I'm dying at night, where is the air? How am I going to be able to breathe through the night? So I Googled, and the symptoms that I think aligned with me the most. Also, oh yeah, because my throat was also hurting. Like, it's painful to swallow. I tried alleviating it with water. I don't take cooling pills or like cooling candy to soothe your throat. I don't abide by that. as a speech therapist by day, you're not supposed to do. We don't recommend doing that. If it works for you, then go ahead. But we don't necessarily recommend doing that because you have to take care of the problem at the root cause. Minor, like, what do you call this? Immediate relief caused by cooling gels or cooling candy is not it. So I don't abide by using those. So then, at first I thought it might have been another case of strep throat because I've had that before. When I had difficulty swallowing, there's pain at like the back of my throat. Not necessarily like the neck area. It's like right behind my tongue where it connects to your esophagus. I am talking like very clinical terms now. But yeah, I looked inside my throat. There wasn't any white patches that I used to see before. It was red though. It was a little swollen. So now I was thinking, okay, so this can't just be the common cough and cold. Because if it's common cough and cold, my throat will not be hurting this way. I don't know if you've ever had coughs and colds. Where does the pain happen? Does it happen like on your chest because you hack a lot of cough or phlegm? Or does it happen like around your throat? Or does it happen just right behind the back of your tongue or like at the upper part of your throat? For me, I know the difference. If it's coughing for this because you came from like a cold or common coughs and colds, it comes at the lower throat, and you can also feel it on your chest. But the pain that I was feeling was coming from the back of my tongue or like the upper part of my throat, and that is not the usual way. Or like it feels swollen. And when you have common cough and colds, it doesn't feel swollen. It hurts, sure. It's scratchy. It's painful. It's itchy. That's the sensation usually people describe it as. But mine wasn't itchy. It was globulous. Wow, globulous, big word. It felt like I was swallowing something really, really. It was like I was swallowing a ball. And then I googled, okay, so what are the symptoms I have? These are the symptoms that I'm feeling. I actually had, the next idea was that if it wasn't strep throat, it might be strep throat. So I went ahead and checked. Okay, what are the it might as well be an acid reflux. So I went ahead and checked. Okay, acid reflux, what are the symptoms? Can acid reflux affect voice, or can it affect throat? When you're like, does it increase the chances of your sinuses swelling and also your throat kind of resulting in coughs and phlegm? And apparently it does. It does do that. When you go to sleep and you are like 180 degrees on your bed, the chances are the acid in your stomach, because of some muscle that failed to close in your stomach, the acid in your stomach now overflows onto your throat. Because the esophagus and the vocal tract or your voice box is right beside each other, and if it's not closed properly, the acid would go onto your voice box or your vocal folds, and essentially the acid would burn through it. So when you wake up, your throat is fucked. And at the same time, sometimes it also goes all the way up to your sinus, and it also fucks with your sinus and the back part of your tongue. So that's what ended up happening. And then on Tuesday as well, because I was a dumb motherfucker, I decided to go to a despedida, or a going out, a send-off party for a friend of mine, where I drank 2 glasses of alcohol, which I could not taste because I had my sinus blocked, so I couldn't taste anything. I couldn't even taste the alcohol, but I could feel it. So that is another thing to add to my stomach that's already having a revolution with acidity. So come Wednesday, that's when I felt it. That's when I had the eureka moment where, oh shit, this is acid reflux. I fucked up my body. I had a really sour sinigang. I drank nothing but Coke and ice cream that day. Not a single drop of water in my body. And then on Thursday, I decided to also drink 2 bottles of alcohol and no ounce of water. So yeah, it's what fucked me over. I had to keep dealing for it for like 3 more days. I took some instant reliever. I tried to alleviate it with some Gaviscon as well. It's like an instant. It's anti heartburn and indigestion medicine. It's a immediate relief thing. I just wanted to see if it would work after every meal, and it did. So I didn't need to go to the doctor. A lot of people told me to go to the doctor, but like no. No, I'm not going to the doctor. I don't need to go to the doctor. I know what's wrong with me. And I can self-medicate. If after a week it did not work, then yeah, I would go to the doctor. I don't... Oh, thank you for the follow, Hard Sport says. Also, hello newcomers. Hello Neo. Hello Flak. Hello Kyowa. Welcome back to the stream. Go hey Pachay! Happy New Year. How are we doing, my horses? What is your Chinese horoscope, if I may ask? I am a wood tiger. I don't know what the horoscope for the wood tiger is this year. Your voice is so pretty. Thank you. Thank you. This is not the best voice I have right now. I do have a clogged nose, but thank you so much. Nobody ever calls my voice pretty. I'm kidding. Speak your truth. What is my truth? Oh, my truth is that hydrate, guys. Hydrate. Hydrate, Hamskis. Hydrate. Unless you want to end up like me, completely shut down for a week because of acid reflux. Since when I was a newcomer today on the chat, like for today's stream, you weren't here earlier. Like you just entered in. Does that make sense? Sore throat. And then where was I? Don't worry, I drink all the time because water is tasty. Hydrate or dihydrate? That's what happened to me. I died. So where was it then? I hit 20k on my... Ooh, congratulations! I see you were a YouTuber. Congratulations! My YouTube hasn't been doing well. I haven't been uploading anything in it. I haven't also done like clips or edited some of my clips because I've been busy doing other stuff. So, you know, this is what happens as you're an indie and you don't have money to spare to have people edit or have any streams where it's clippable, so you just exist. Anyway, I was supposed to say something else, but I kind of forgot. Well, that's my explanation. That's my excuse as to why I wasn't streaming last week. I streamed only once, last Monday, and then I just disappeared on the face of the internet, only to like post on Discord, which is here, by the way. Our Discord. Sups, Mormus, how are you doing? We're just doing a little chit chat, catch up, because I was gone for an entire week before we go through our Transformers yap, which is a continuation of last week's stream, because it's long. I made it longer too during the break. I'm gonna try and go through the second half because I feel like I won't be able to go through all of it, and I will continue the rest of it tomorrow, because tomorrow we'll be doing Rodimus Prime. We're doing a build stream tomorrow of Flame Toys Rodimus Prime, the IDW version, on stream, handcam stream, and I might do the continuation of anything related to More Than Meets the Eye or Lost Light or the third phase comics tomorrow instead. Ito, what time do I go live? I go live 9 p.m. GMT plus 8, which is Philippine time. I don't know. I really need to figure out what time zones are. I don't know what time it is on the other sections of the globe. I don't know. Ito, I suppose in American time that would be inverted completely. So 9 a.m. Yay! Magaling ka na. Oo, magaling na ng kaunti. Magaling na ng kaunti. I still have a bit of cold, but the voice is back. I managed to fix that. That's the first thing I fixed, actually, because of my day job, I really need my voice. I can't work if I don't have voice. So, the first thing that I did when I found out that I had acid reflux was move my pillow 10 degrees up so that at least the gravity would do its work, and the acidity that's trying to go up my esophagus would stay the fuck down. Immediately the next day, my voice went back. So yeah. I live in Sweden. Hello. Oh no. Oh no. I have finally captured the European audience, and I can't make them watch. Feel free to watch my VODs though. I do have a YouTube channel as well. If you are interested or are more active in YouTube, I do post some of my streams, most of my streams on YouTube. Although the recent ones that I posted is, I think, have I posted my dispatch streams yet? I don't think so. I haven't posted the dispatch streams. The chatting streams, however, often stay here in Twitch. I do have the copies. Maybe I should put them up here. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll figure it out. But if ever, you can just check out my VODs once it's available up for you. Ito ne. Okay. East Coast time will be 9 p.m. on the seasons are daylight savings, and West Coast at 6 a.m. So then, what is 9 p.m. GMT plus 8 for West Coast? I know Indiana. For some reason, I know the time zone of Indiana. It's just immediate. Flip it over. Just flip it. That's it. It's totally not because I know someone from Indiana. What else? Hello, Zacer! Welcome to the stream. I'm back. What was I gonna say? Oh, I have so many things to tell you, but we're not gonna do it today. We're gonna do that tomorrow. Because right now, we gotta do the thing. We gotta finish this. I'm gonna yap, okay? I'm gonna yap. No, I mean, like, if it's 9 p.m. here, it's 9 a.m. for East Coast. Oh, yeah. Okay, then that's correct. That's correct, then. It's just flip the time. You are also in the past. We are in the future. If it is now February 17 in the Philippines, it is January 16 in the East Coast. Yap away, queen. Alright, we yapping. Hold on. Let me just move my shit. I will move my bushy ass tail and my bushy ass hair. My what? I'm yapping here. Hold on. Where is it? Where is the main chat? Oop, we're gonna put you here to the side. Put you here to the side. And open this up. Ta-da! Here it is. We are yapping away. Everything, any other yap that I would do for the rest, like I wanted to yap about during my absence, I would do tomorrow. All right, we'll do that tomorrow. I have a lot of things to talk about. Is it Feb 17 here? It's January 16 in the no. Feb 17 here, February 16 on the East Coast. Did I make a mistake again? Welcome to my streams. This is how it usually is. I fuck up numbers and dates. You can't. Here you go. Just follow that link. You'll find me there. You'll find me. I don't know what the last video was. Let me check. Hold on. What was the last video I have on my YouTube channel, actually? According to my YouTube upload, the last one is Mahjong Soul. It's Mahjong Soul and Resident Village. That was the last. I haven't played Mahjong Soul in 3 months. I'm getting withdrawals. You definitely won't get hacked if you follow. You won't get hacked. You won't get. It's a YouTube link. Come on. Okay. Continuing. Why are you hitting me with a steel chair? I haven't done nothing to you. I haven't done nothing to you, girl. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. Let me just move this here so that I can do this freely. There you go. Okay, part 2. We are now part 2 into. Hey, hold. I need to properly figure this out. Where am I gonna put the chat? There, so I can read it. So I can read you. Okay, so part 2. We are now in part 2. Why part 2? Well, the first half we talked about we talked about the first half of the IDW comics. If you're not familiar and you are new here, my name is Sushi, Snowfall of the Red Panda. I like Transformers a lot. It is a childhood interest that I had way back, and then I kind of dropped off the face of the earth from the fandom as a young kid, and then I was dragged right back into it after Transformers 1. This time, only worse. The interest or the autistic interest that I have over it autistic level interest that I had over it, it came back worse. I have now bought so much Transformers and also read through the entire comics, which I wouldn't normally do. Like, I was a big fan of the MCU, but I hated reading the comics. But Transformers comics was like pretty good, so I kept on with it. It was kind of a hassle to read through, but I powered through it. So last time we talked about part 1, which is essentially phase 1. Phase 1 started around I'm not gonna go with the time. But phase 1 essentially is kind of a mess. We're going through a quick summary of what happened last time. It's kind of a mess. There was really bad pacing issues. You either have to power through or skip it. A lot of it is the war on Earth and everywhere else on the galaxy, where there's Decepticons and Autobots fighting each other, etc., etc. It's a lot of setup, and then it ends during the Chaos Theory. I have to go to Bye Hearts! Thank you so much for dropping by and the follow. Ito. Yeah, a lot of setup up until the end of the war, which ended during the Chaos Theory event, and has a few really good runs. Now we're here in phase 2. The good part, the actual good part. If you are kind of just interested in what lore there is available, or like what majority of the how would you say this? Majority of what became references or inspiration for a lot of modern day Transformers media is, or lore, it all came from a lot of them came from IDW. Ito, especially phase 2, a lot of the characterizations for characters, at least for the modern shows that I've been seeing, came from phase 2. It's a lot, especially one of the best new Transformers ever created was introduced in phase 2. So phase 2 is the good part. A lot of the comics fans would say, if you're just interested in starting out the comics and you just want to get into it, but you don't have the time, you could just read phase 2. You could skip from phase 1 entirely, because phase 2 has like 2 eras where they essentially turned it into like a soft reboot for the series, so a lot of newcomers can jump in. You don't have to know what happened in phase 1. You don't have to. The wiki is there. You could just read that. So anyway, compared to phase 1, which didn't really feel like it had a direction going forward, like, you kind of see that there's a plan, but it's not as clear as a plan. Phase 2, however, every single main title, you know what it's focused on and what the end goal was gonna be. Or like, at least you kind of figured what the end goal was gonna be. There's no more humans. It's just robots. Just robots. Although there are some titles that has humans. That would be for later. So after the war in phase 1, phase 2 is now focused on Cybertron or Cybertronians picking itself up after the war. So a lot of rekindling the government. Yes, I am talking about Transformers. Hello, Konsu. Welcome to the stream. I am talking about Transformers. I am yapping about the comics. We're done with phase 1. We finished that last week. I think it's still up on my channel. If you're interested in checking out the VOD, you can go check that out. But don't expect too much from me. I am talking about the comics based on how my experience with it and a little bit of very, very vague recall based on Transformers Wiki. I was supposed to do this stream of like, okay, I'm gonna go through the entire timeline that I saw, or like how the reading order that I followed, and then tell you what happened in each issue. But that shit was so that shit was so difficult. I couldn't do it on my own, so I had to go look at the Wikia. So everything that you will see from here on out is my opinion of like what I thought of the series or like the issues, and then what actually happened in the issues based on like bullet points. So anyway, phase 2. Compared to phase 1, where it's everything was related to war, phase 2 is now divided into 2. You can choose your poison. If you liked phase 1 and you wanted to keep the politics of Cybertron or Transformers, that's what you want to read, you can go read the political side of phase 2. If you don't like that, and you just want to see Transformers or Cybertronians just fucking around and finding out what's gonna happen now that the war is done and they're trying to like live their civilian lives. We have the adventure side, also quote-unquote angst. So here we are, finally, phase 2. I really love this spread. I found this on Twitter like 3 weeks ago. I'm not really sure how I found it. It just appeared on my timeline. If I remember correctly, don't quote me on this. I think this is the Japanese variant cover for Robots in Disguise and More Than Meets the Eye. These are the main 2 titles for phase 2. So these are the people who we have to thank for phase 2. We have John Barber, God's gift to continuity, and James Roberts. They are the main writers for the main 2 titles of Transformers IDW going forward. John Barber is in charge for Robots in Disguise, and then James Roberts is in charge for More Than Meets the Eye. I do like that they both became the head writers for the 2 main titles at the same time because it gave everything structure. John Barber, actually they're both really good. They're both really good with world building and tying in lore with each other. John Barber took up a lot. Remember when I said phase 1 was like messy when it comes to plot lining? Phase 1 had a lot. Sometimes they introduced a lot of plots and then completely forgot about it. John Barber ended up using those plots later on into the story. James Roberts is so into world building that he has a Bible. He has a Bible for all of the characters' motivations, what their ideals are, what their personality is, what their history is, how they interact with other characters. Each character has a story arc and they all happen in More Than Meets the Eye. And it is insane. I actually really like the way, because of how John Barber really likes continuity, the political side of the second phase worked really well for me, in my opinion. And then with how very character driven James Roberts' writing is, and I'm also, the way that I enjoy media, I really, really like character driven stories. So I enjoyed More Than Meets the Eye so much. I do have a little bit of nitpick when it comes to More Than Meets the Eye that a lot of MTMTE fans kind of don't want to talk about, but I will talk about that later. Okay, moving on. Here we go. After the what was the last part of phase 1? Dark Cybertron? No, not Dark Cybertron. Chaos Theory Part 3, I think. Anyway, Death of Optimus Prime is the first one from phase 2. Okay, what did I write here? Okay, this one shot is an honest, apparently I said it's an honest surprise. I did find this one kind of sad and happy. Oh, I remember now. Okay, I remember now. Because like, after the whole Chaos Theory incident, a lot of the Cybertronians are back on Cybertron. And they're trying to rebuild it together. The Decepticons and the Autobots are trying... Essentially, the Autobots won. Officially, the Autobots won the war. But technically, nobody won. But the Autobots claimed that they won. Because they're the only ones with the... I don't know. I don't remember. But they essentially said that they reclaimed Cybertron for Cybertronians. Not the Decepticons. And then while the Decepticons and the Autobots were kind of fighting, okay, we're done with war. Who's going to govern us now? The neutrals all return, or as they call them as nails, non-affiliated individuals, something. It means the nails is an acronym. Essentially, they're the neutrals, the Cybertronians that did not join either faction, and they just went away to some other place and said, you know what, let's wait out the war until these 2 people kill each other, and then we can go back and reclaim Cybertron for us. So they return and they're going like, look, the war and our planet died because of both of you, so we want you out. This is our land now. Get out. Essentially is what the neutrals are saying. The Decepticons don't like that. The Autobots don't like that. Because, hey, We fought for a better world. We're sorry. We kind of killed our planet in the process. But if we didn't fight and stuff, we would have been a functionalist society. Functionalist society is essentially, it's like a social case system where every Cybertronian, depending on their alt mode, would determine how useful you are in society. It's like a social credit system. And it would, your out mode would also dictate what your job is. So for example, you're a truck. You're a truck. You're essentially going to be like a delivery truck, or a military guy, or a, say, what else is it? A construction worker. Even though that's your given job, even though you want to be like, say, you want to be like a musician, it's not gonna happen. The government would not allow it. They're going to put you down for trying to move out of what your intended purpose is, or what your functional purpose is. So yeah, the war in IDW was started because of that. They wanted to stop functionalism. But now that the war is over, the neutrals are saying, hey, get out. This is our land again. So, but a lot of the neutrals, most of the neutrals are also surviving functionalists. So, the Autobots and the Decepticons don't want that. They don't want to give it back to them after like 4 million years of war. You're just gonna go back to functionalism? Nuh-uh. No. We're calling the shots. But, okay, so then the neutrals and the Autobots and the Decepticons kind of had like a little agreement. Okay, sure. You can lead us, or we can all lead each other together. But we want Optimus out, because he is the figurehead of war. As a prime, the Cybertronians don't respect the primes. Because like the past 3 primes that they had were all kind of shit leaders, so they don't really like them anymore. So they want Optimus Prime out, and Optimus agrees to leave Cybertron, and the Matrix that he used to have in Chaos Theory, which was broken in half, he gives one piece to Bumblebee, who is now de facto leader of Cybertron as the current leader of the Autobots, and to Rodimus. Oh, welcome back, Hearts! I'm just describing the current plot of the issue of the death of Optimus Prime. I am talking about the comics. The entirety of the IDW comics. And then Rodimus, who is, who leaves Cybertron because he doesn't want to feel caged in by the expectations of others as a quote-unquote prime, and leaves in search of Cyber Utopia, or I think the Knights of Cybertron is also what he called it. Okay, so from then, and also, where was it? Okay, and then, so Optimus leaves Cybertron, and he reverts to calling himself Orion Pax. He doesn't go by Optimus Prime anymore. He goes back to Orion Pax. And he's just... Why is it happy? Because finally, Orion/Optimus can have time to be himself again. He can be selfish and do whatever the heck he wants without the title of Prime bearing down on him. He doesn't have any responsibilities, and it's kind of nice to see him like have that freedom way outside of Cybertron, where nobody can judge what the fuck he's doing. But I will tell you how bad that goes later. Okay, so here it is. So this is where it then diverges. After the death of Optimus Prime, the stories diverge. Bumblebee and Rodimus. Bumblebee is robots in disguise. It is focused on rebuilding Cybertron, the political aspect, and then More Than Meets the Eye, which is a space adventure. Adventure in space with a bunch of robots. So More Than Meets the Eye is my favorite. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't say it's my favorite fucking series. It's like right underneath Windblade and All Are One. But MTMT is right there. It's synonymous, at least I think. It's goated! It's fucking goated! It's also really fucking funny. James Roberts went on record to say that he paced the issues of More Than Meets the Eye to be paced like a Saturday morning cartoon. Every 3 issues is one plot, or like it can fit an episode. If they turn this into a cartoon, 3 issues is one episode. As you can see here, down here, I will describe it later. All of the arcs, yes, I will describe all of the arcs in like very, very fast. Anyway, the initial start of the series is kind of it's mind-blowing actually, because I went through this not knowing what was happening in the plot. All I knew going into MTMTE, coming from Transformers 1 and checking out like what was the best comics to read, and they said that it was this one. Everything was so connected, like seemingly unrelated adventures. It's all connected in the end, kind of like Gravity Falls. What other cartoons were that I watched that felt like they were not connected at all? Like serialized, kind of Steven Universe, but not so much, because Steven Universe felt very unconnected, and then it sprinkled in the plot somewhere in there. Unlike Gravity Falls, where every episode was hijinks, but every episode still felt important for the later half when the plot starts moving. So anyway, in here, Rodimus starts recruiting Autobots or Decepticons. Well, mostly Autobots. He's kind of racist against Decepticons still. They ride inside the ship called the Lost Light, and when they were leaving, they explode upon departure, making the rest of Cybertron think that they died before they could even fly out into space. And Rodimus thinks that this is because Prowl kind of messed with their engines or something. They messed with their engines. Because if you remember last time, we have Overlord. If you remember who Overlord is, Overlord is a Phase Sixer, which is essentially a big fucking gun for Megatron. During the war, he just dumps this guy in a planet and he kills everybody. Anyway, they caught him during one of the Wreckers issues, and Prowl mandates to Rodimus that he keep Overlord imprisoned on the ship because he's too dangerous to be kept in Cybertron. Rodimus doesn't want that, but Prowl kind of blackmails him into doing so. So Overlord is now in the ship. The entire crew does not know that he's in there, but it was a big fight between them. So this is why Rodimus thinks that Prowl kind of sabotaged the ship so that it would explode. Anyway, they did not die. They ended up being thrown way beyond the mark that they were supposed to come out of hyperspace. Or I say hyperspace, but it's not actually hyperspace. I'm just gonna say it like that. They were thrown way off the mark. That would be important later on. I didn't think it was gonna be important later on, but it was gonna be important later on. So then, they explode upon departure, and their quest is now to find the Knights of Cybertron. So the first 3 issues is just kind of starting out, introducing the characters, the main cast, the current main cast for the first series, or at least the first season, because the characters for like MTMTE kind of rotates around. It doesn't stick to a certain set of characters. Like I said, kind of like seemingly unrelated adventures. The first 3 is like there's a Spark Eater on board. It kind of introduces how Rodimus is as a captain. Well, not really. He kind of acts like the ship is a fraternity house. He's not really a leader, but he sort of is that kind of thing. Issues 4 and 5 is focused on Ratchet and Pharma and his serial killing in Delphi. Pharma is he's considered like a prodigal surgeon, even better than Ratchet. I think he might have been Ratchet's like roommate back then or something. There's a ship. There's a ship between Pharma and Ratchet because of this issue. Issues 4 and 5. Either way, Pharma becomes insane because of the Decepticon Justice Division, kind of forcing him to trap Decepticons and Autobots in Delphi, which is a hospital zone, to take out their T-Cogs, or the organ that Cybertronians use to transform into their alt modes, or their vehicle or robot modes, to take that and then feed it to Tarn. He kind of lost his marbles, and he just kind of enjoyed killing people, I suppose. And then episode 6 to like issue 6 is just Fortress Maximus, the opponent of Overlord. I kind of forgot about Fort Max actually. Fort Max, I don't remember if he joined in the crew before or after, but either way, he wakes up. He's getting PTSD from what Overlord did to him in Garrus 9. And then he holds Rung hostage. Rung is Rung. Rung is a character. He's a psychologist. This ship needs a psychologist. That's how badly everybody needs therapy. But he doesn't work. He's not really a useful psychologist because everybody hides and deflects their feelings. Everybody in this ship is neurodivergent. He holds Hong hostage, and the funniest bit I will show you. I have I have pictures. The funniest bit of this entire 6 issue, I will introduce to you one of my favorite characters. Oh wait, hold on. This is ano pala? Not yet. This is the first 3 issues from the first 3 issues. So remember when I said that Prowl is now in IDW universe for the Cybertronians, Prowl is synonymous to table flipping. He's the first Cybertronian to table flip, and whenever somebody table flips, they call it doing a prowl. So he's so angry here. He's so angry at Chrome Dome. Cause he's like telling Chrome Dome not to leave with Rodimus. He needs his expertise as a pneumosurgeon and a former buddy cop of his to enforce the new Cybertron government and stuff. Chrome Dome says, "Fuck you, no, I'm gonna go." And then he kind of table flips. And then here it is. He's talking about the modifications on the Lost Light so that they can accommodate Overlord and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't work out. And then here it is! My favorite character. This is Fort Max. He's holding Rung hostage. And then this is Whirl. My favorite suicidal Transformer. Okay, he inflicts a lot of... He's very antagonistic to anybody that can kill him. That's his way of like becoming suicidal. He's not gonna kill himself, but he will totally be okay with somebody else killing him. So he will antagonize anybody that can kill him so that they can kill him. That's his mind, bro. His mind. So like, here it is. They're saying, okay, who is trying to pacify Fort Max that's currently holding Rung hostage? And then everybody goes, oh god, it's Whirl. And then, look at it. Listen, Max, in the hope that this can still have a happy ending, and speaking as someone who appreciates the challenges of adjusting to post-war life, I just want to say that there's still time for you to do the decent thing and... yeah. KYS. I don't... whatever's happening in Whirl's brain, I absolutely love it. And then Rung goes, now Whirl, that may not be the most helpful. And then Whirl goes, come on, blow yourself away. Let's see a spark spasm up close. It's kind of funny that he's an Autobot. He's an Autobot. He didn't even think about going into Decepticons. Oh, also, Whirl is the guy that beat up Megatron. Before he became Megatron. If you remember in Chaos Theory, Megatron was detained for a bar fight that he didn't even start. And then in that bar, in the... okay, hold on. I need to get this out of my nose. Okay. And in that detention facility, Whirl decides to beat up Megatron before he's released. And it's actually Whirl's destructive tendencies that pushes Megatron into going for a violent revolt instead of a peaceful one, which he intended to do at the beginning. It's also a callback because James Roberts also did Chaos Theory. The reason why Megatron surrendered himself at the beginning of Chaos Theory was because he wanted a reason to he needed a reason to find his resolve again in the war. And the way that he got it is when Optimus shocked him electrically while he was detained. That kind of jump-started his resolve to continue with a violent war, essentially. So violence raises Megatron's impulses to react in violence. So yeah, whatever Whirl, I fucking love Whirl. I have a model of Whirl. I have his Thrilling 30 model, and I'm so glad that I found it. It's one of the more complicated models I've ever had, actually. I think it's one of the most complicated ones that I have. Also, it's made out of metal, so it's like really heavy. Okay, then RID. Okay, I actually didn't like the beginning of Robots in Disguise when I started with More Than Meets the Eye, because like I'm following the reading order, and the reading order said read this first, read More Than Meets the Eye first, and then jump to RID after the 6th issue, because they are running in parallel together with each other. So RID, or Robots in Disguise, felt very serious after like this Sunday cartoon tone of More Than Meets the Eye, although it did grow on me because I like politics and fiction, like Game of Thrones, what are the politics? Andor, Star Wars, essentially anything Star Wars when it's focused on the politics, Andor, what else? What else is focused on? Just Andor, actually. Andor, Rogue One, sometimes a bit of the Vision series, I think. I like politics and fictions. So the only thing you need to know here is that for the first 6 issues, again, everyone believes that the Lost Light is dead. They're gone. They're all gone. They're kind of lamenting the fact that they're gone. Bumblebee struggles from success part 2. He is no longer just the leader of the Autobots. He is also now a de facto leader of Cybertron, alongside Starscream and Metalhawk. Starscream is the advisor or the representative of the Decepticons. They didn't vote for him to be the representative of the Decepticons. He voted himself to become the leader for the Decepticon side. He's speaking out for the Decepticons even though they didn't want him to be. And then Metalhawk is the representative for the neutrals. Okay, so for the entirety of RID, Prowl is racist against Decepticons. He is working he has shadow control of the current government by having like spies like RC as his assassin, taking out Decepticon threats before they even become a threat for Bumblebee's government. There's also Bombshell. If you remember way back, if you were here during the first part, Bombshell has a mind control Cerebro shell. This becomes very important. It's a mind control. It's a mind control shell. This becomes very important. Okay, and then in the B plot, whatever Shockwave and Orion is doing at the back, okay, whatever the fuck they're doing, because in Chaos Theory it's implied, or it's not. It wasn't implied. It was set up that Shockwave and Orion, Senator Shockwave, before he became this Shockwave, when he was senator of the government, they were close friends to the point that Shockwave was actually helping Orion destabilize the current government because he also doesn't believe in the government. So he was like, okay, I have a seat of power. I want you to work with the information that I can get inside the government, take them down. And also he has Senator Shockwave has a school for gifted Cybertronians. He calls the Outliers. He's like Charles Xavier, where he has like a school for gifted young children. And it works as like his X-Force or something like that. And after Orion what do you call this? Makes an unwelcome entrance into the Senate and literally tells them to their face, "What the fuck do we need you for?" The Senate kind of kills Orion, and Senator Shockwave does the whole Alpha Trion thing from G1 to Orion Pax and gives him a new body. And inside his chest is is a is an empty chassis where the matrix of leadership can be fit into, because Shockwave thinks Orion is the perfect Cybertronian to hold the matrix of leadership. Is it gay, fellas? Is it gay to manipulate this person that has been helping me and believes we can change Cybertron together? Change his entire frame so that he can become the leader of Cybertron in the future. Is it gay? Oh god. Whatever's happening between the two of them, it's gonna get worse. Only for IDW Comics do I ship Shockwave and Optimus. This is the only continuity. I don't even ship Megatron and Optimus in this continuity. Like, it may be one-sided. Like, Megatron likes Orion or Optimus, that's it. But Optimus doesn't like him. that's the way I see it. Meg-Op is not gonna work in IDW. You will see later, because Megatron has his own hobbies. Then back to More Than Meets the Eye. Oh man, reading between the two of these, back and forth, according to the reading order, was kind of insane. The tonal shift was hard to follow through. So anyway, so issues 7 to 11 actually divides More Than Meets the Eye into two plots. Again, there's so many plots. Even Robots in Disguise, actually. There's also two plots for Robots in Disguise. So with MTMT, it divides it into Plot A, which is focused on the Lost Light, and Plot B, with the Scavengers and the Decepticon Justice Division. The Scavengers are a group of Decepticons that are essentially... They clean up after a skirmish between the Decepticons and the Autobots. And they kind of just look for spare parts. That's their job. They're unimportant, but that's their job. And then their plots intersect much later on. And the arc for this one is so good. It's an entire flashback arc for the Lost Light theme. So with the plot B, it kind of tells you about Tarn, the leader of the Decepticon Justice Division. He's going through it after the war. Like, he doesn't believe the war is over and everything. He's trying to look for a purpose to continue the war, especially with Megatron kind of out of the picture. And then the Scavengers end up finding Grimlock, but Grimlock is not how he used to be. He kind of, from this point on, Grimlock starts acting like G1 Grimlock, where he can't actually talk in complete phrases. He's sort of like a baby. He follows around Misfire. They're so adorable. He's very protective of the Scavengers, but yeah. Oh no, I think the DJD went after Grimlock or something like that. Anyway, that's plot B. Plot A. The very important flashback arc is a direct sequel to Chaos Theory issue 22 and 23 from Phase 1. This will be important later on. Like, way later on. So the most important things here in the flashback arc is the shadow play, which the government does to dissidents in Cybertron. Essentially, they take away their face and give them the one-eyed monocle, and takes away their hands, and turns them into clamps, which is what Shockwave looks like. Oh yeah, Senator Shockwave was shadow played after Orion Pax and Senator Shockwave and his team of outliers tries to steal the Matrix. They get captured, and then Shockwave says, "Let them go, just take me." And then they shadow play him. Whirl is also shadow played because he is a dangerous Cybertronian. He needs to be shadow played as a way of saying, this is what happens if you break the system. Okay, that's the only important thing. Robots in Disguise, 7 to 10. Okay. I wrote this down. So if I remember correctly, at this point, I was so disengaged with Robots in Disguise because MTMTE was like way more fun. I had to read through the wiki about like what happened here. Because Robots in Disguise all just kind of connects, like, what do you call this? Forms into one soup into my head. There's like certain parts of the story that I really like, and then some parts of the story that I just kind of ignored. Like, I don't remember, or like, I don't know what was happening in the plot, but I know what was happening with certain characters. Particularly, like, I kind of forgot that Wheeljack dies. Wheeljack dies in here, and like, Starscream was really attached to Wheeljack at some point, and I don't really remember why. Starscream will not let Wheeljack die. He wants this man alive again. Or he wants this bot alive again. The Dinobots are back. Like, the remaining Dinobots away from Grimlock, because they were separated around when were they separated in phase 1? I don't remember, but they were separated. Bumblebee is struggling from Success Part 3. He is so depressed. He is so stressed. He keeps making the wrong decisions. Totally not because of Starscream's machinations and stuff like that. No. Totally not because of that. But, you know, he is struggling from Success. And then on the other side, we are not reviewing Transformers Yaoi. That's not what we're doing. We are talking about the entirety of the comics. Occasionally I will be talking about like shipping fodder. Not fodder, fodder. 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 And like why I ended up shipping the characters that I ship now because of this entire comic universe. Okay, and then like for the B plot, like I said, there's now 2 plots, kind of like more than meets the eye. Robots in Disguise shifts between Orion Pax and then what's happening in Cybertron. So with Orion Pax's story, he kind of time travels all around. Like even the wiki doesn't know what's up. Even I don't remember what's up with this one. I just know that whatever Orion Pax is dealing with, it becomes important later on during the Dark Cybertron storyline. We forget about it now. It doesn't matter. Okay, more than meets the eye. Okay, they gave us the slice of life before ripping it away from us. We never knew peace after that. This is the part. Think of it this way. If you've ever watched Madoka Magica, this is episode 3. This is episode 3, where after the first 2 episodes, you're like, oh, cute, magical girls. And then episode 3 comes in, and then they kill fucking Mamika. This is it. After giving us all those funny adventures, neurodivergent Transformers kind of just, they have problems they don't want to solve. This is it. This is where it all goes down. For the first 12 and 13, I think, everyone's holoforms. They reintroduced the holoforms again after being forgotten for like so long. If you weren't here in the first part of this Yap session, holoforms are essentially humanized versions of they're avatars. They are human avatars that the Cybertronians project whenever they go to a organic planet. So they're all equally cute and unhinged. Like, Magnus is Verity. Magnus's holoform is Verity. Verity is a human girl that was in the very, very first issue for phase 1. Did I put it here or was it after? Anyway, I mentioned it like, oh no, I didn't break it down here, but I think it explained how Magnus and Verity ended up. Oh no, I did in like a previous phase 1 series. Anyway, the reason why Magnus and Verity became close was during one of the Wreckers issues. Verity stowed away in Magnus's ship, and Magnus became very protective of Verity, that he gave her a exoskeleton suit that kind of looks like an Iron Man suit. an Iron Man suit, and then uh after a while they had to go separate ways because Verity's human. She's gonna get killed out in space. She's back on Earth. She's dealing with some of the other wrecker shit. Magnus is out there in space dealing with the Lost Light. And his hollow form is a Verity, and I'm just he loved his daughter. And then Whirl is so fucking funny. Whirl's model or like hollow avatar is a 10-year-old girl. A 10-year-old girl with an eye patch because Whirl only has one eye. So she has an eye patch. She has pigtails. And she has I think she's wearing like a jean jacket with like lots of patches. It is so cute. Okay, it's the fucking traumatic Overlord arc. Overlord arc! Our first doomed Yaoi. Isn't Orion Pax D16 also doomed Yaoi? Yes, they are. However, MTMTE is mostly well beloved by queer Transformers fans for this exact reason. A lot of previous Phase 1s, relationship between Transformers wasn't really canonical. They were implied, sure, but they weren't made official out for you, like reading it that, oh, these two characters love each other. No. It was all read between the lines. However, when MTMTE came out, James Roberts made it his fucking goal to doom every yaoi in it. No, actually, no. Not doom every yaoi. Doom every straight. But he gotta doom the yaoi first. Megatronus, Orion Pax is a pick-me, unlike me, who's not like the other Cybertronian. Our first doom yaoi is actually Chrome Dome and Rewind. Holy shit. Okay, so what happens here during the Overlord arc is that after some things go haywire, the crew discovers that Overlord is in their ship. And everybody is freaking the fuck out because Overlord, again, is capable of destroying an entire fleet of Autobots. And the Autobots in Lost Light ship aren't exactly frontliners. A lot of them are medics, like scavengers, like scrappers. Some of them are former police. Rewind is a chronologer. Like he records everything that happened. He's like an historian. So when Overlord, and then Chrome Dome is a neurosurgeon. He essentially has he can medically check what's inside your brain and stuff like that. And he's one of the people capable of doing shadow play, but he doesn't do that. He just mostly checks memories and rewrites memories. So what ends up happening is that they put Chrome Dome, they tell Chrome Dome to kind of check inside the pneumosurgery around Overlord's head, which wakes him up and overpowers the entire ship. I'm not really sure if anybody died. I feel like somebody did die. Except, Rewind definitely died. But, like, Rewind decides that he's going to sacrifice himself to get Overlord out of the ship. And at this point, Rewind and Chrome Dome are kind of, like, doing this whole will they, won't they dance for, like, a couple of years already. Because Rewind is currently looking for his previous conjuncts, or his married other half. He hasn't found them in years, and Chrome Dome is like helping Rewind find his conjuncts, and he falls in love with him. Rewind also falls in love with him. Polyamory is totally fine in Transformers lore, so they're totally fine with each other. But Chrome Dome is kind of, but what if you find your old conjuncts? What happens to us then? Rewind is like, it's fine, I can love both of you. But Chrome Dome is being, no, but yet, anyway. Rewind sacrifices himself so that the entirety of the Lost Light survives. He dies. Chrome Dome is now depressed. Nobody can talk to him. He's depressed. The love of his life just died. Oh, also, Chrome Dome has a tendency after every breakup, he would like do a surgery on himself so that he forgets everything related to his love interest. He's done this like 3 times in the past. So with Rewind, before Rewind dies, he literally tells Chrome to not, no more surgery, the memories of me out of your brain, essentially. But because he's so depressed, he wants to do it. Chrome wants to take all memories of Rewind out of his head, but he doesn't do it. That's important later on. And then after that fucking heartbreak, I have to stop and go to Robots in Disguise again. 11 to 16. Okay, the only reason I remember this is because of Starscream. The only reason I remember anything related to Robot in Disguise is because of Starscream's plot. I absolutely really love what they do with Starscream in Robots in Disguise. I absolutely love it. Anyway, so this is in this chapter. I think this is leading up to introduction of the Titans in the Transformers IDW lore. Titans are in G1, like cities where Cybertronians can live. As I think essentially, I haven't watched G1, but this is where they introduce the Titans. The Titans in IDW are kind of controlled, or were controlled by the Primes, or yeah, chosen ones by the Primes, and you are only able to oh wait, hold on. Something about the Titans, they disappeared from Cybertron some time ago, before it became the Cybertron that the Autobots and the Decepticons know of, because all of the Titans left to build colonies of Cybertron in other planets. So after a while, they kind of disappeared and died. And then during one of the fights in RID, Starscream awakens a Metro Titan that somehow still exists in Cybertron. And then the Titan, Metro Titan, says that he is the savior of Cybertron, prophesizes that he is the savior of Cybertron. This catapults him into political power. Anyway, Megatron's back, because Megatron died in Chaos, quote unquote. Megatron's back, somehow. Don't worry, they defeat him. The Decepticon revolts against Bumblebee's racist government. The reason why I say it's racist government, because they kind of gave house trackers for the Decepticons. You're meaning to tell me men were watching My Little Pony and Powerpuff Girls while the women were reading Transformers and playing Metal Gear Solid? Yep. 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 At least for MTMT, that's when all the, I would say, Bumblebee went racist. Oh, okay. No. Here's the thing. Prowl was telling Bumblebee that the Decepticons were going to revolt against the government, or like his government, and Prowl keeps saying that they need to keep the Decepticons in line. And the way that Prowl tells Bumblebee to do it, that Bumblebee accepts, is that he is going to tag every Decepticon, and if they go out of line, or even if they show any bit of aggression, they will blow them up. And yeah, the Decepticons don't want that, because like, hey, look, we were supposed to be fighting for freedom for all. We went about it the wrong way, but the war is over. So like, we deserve to enjoy peace with the rest of you, okay? Like, we did war crimes, you also did war crimes. We're kind of calling it quits now. So, don't do this. It is so. Prowl in RID is such an asshat. I swear to God, whatever is wrong with him, I hate it, but I also love it. So then, it's revealed later on that the reason why Starscream, Messiah, and Bumblebee... Yes! It's so funny! Oh, God! Nobody likes Bumblebee. Nobody likes Bumblebee here when he became leader. He keeps making the wrong decisions. He keeps trusting the wrong people. Prowl being one of them. So the reason why Prowl is doing all of these things is because in the previous issue, remember when I mentioned Bombshell's mind control head things? Prowl has actually been mind controlled. He is being controlled by Bombshell, And the reason why he's doing all of this to once again raise the aggression of the Decepticons with the Autobots is to kickstart the war between the two of them again. And also kind of shift the power balance to make the Decepticons lead the government. Because like right now, it's the Autobots leading the government. So what they want to do is, hey look, the Autobots are really, really bad. They're oppressing us. Everybody can see it now, right? So you gotta give the power to us, essentially. So then, with Bombshell mind controlling Prowl, he also forced his body to become the sixth Constructicon to form Devastator again. We heard you were allowing Decepticons into your home. No, I'm not gonna do a little allegory of what the hell's happening in America right now. I'm not gonna do it. But anyway, again, a callback from Phase 1. The reason why Prowl is very much connected to Devastator right now is kind of interesting. Amen, John Barber. In Phase 1, Scrapper, I think, is the leader of the Devastator, or the Constructicons. He was killed in cold blood by Spike Witwicky. And Prowl absolutely fucking hates Spike Witwicky. The reason why he started hating Spike Witwicky was because he started investigating the death behind he started investigating the death of Scrapper. And then that's when he found out that Spike Witwicky is not a noble human that he once thought he was. And Prowl now is not only racist to Decepticons, he's also racist to humans because of Spike Witwicky. So the interesting thing with Prowl and the Constructicons now is that without a leader, or without Scrapper, Devastator cannot be formed. So what Bombshell does now is to take Prowl and turn him into a Constructicon so that they can form a new Devastator, with Prowl as the head. And when they finally integrated, still under mind control, by the way, Prowl, still under mind control, he integrates with the rest of the Constructicons, and the funniest bit happens, and I shit you not, I am a big shipper. I ship Devastator, or like Constructicons and Prowl so much because of this. How did B become racist? Monkas, I thought to be shooting like one last thing. Okay, going back really, really fast, the reason B became racist is not because of his ideals. He became racist because he started following or trusting the advice of Prowl, who was under the influence of Bombshell, who is a Decepticon who kind of mind controlled Prowl into speaking his ideals to Bumblebee's ears to kind of increase the tension between the Decepticons and the Autobots again. Anyway, Bumblebee keeps making shit decisions. That's all on him. So now, I ship Devastator, I ship the Constructicons and Prowl a lot because after they fused as Devastator, the Constructicons started listening more to Prowl and less to Bombshell, because they kind of like the shit that's going on inside Prowl's head. They like, hey, we see you're broken and kind of an asshat, a bit of a racist. You know, you do the things you do because it's for the betterment of everybody, even though they're all war crimes. We like that. We're gonna follow you. Prowl, have you heard about how this manipulate the Cybertron financial system? No! Anyway, after this, Prowl, the Constructicons started following after Prowl, and Prowl does not like that. In fanfiction, it is so good! It is so good! Because again, Prowl in IDW, nobody likes Prowl in IDW because of like the things that he does. He turns everybody into numbers or statistics that he doesn't see them as people. Everything is in... He's kind of like... He's synonymous to Shockwave in a sense. That he distances himself from emotion so that he can make the practical and logical decisions to win the war. So a lot of people that he considered friends back then, he still considers us friends, but because of the toxic shit that he's on, a lot of his friends kind of don't like him anymore. Hey, thank you for the follow, Kiryu-chan! Welcome to the stream. My name is Sushi's Doko Overwork Red Panda. I play a variety of games. Mostly talking about Transformers. Well, occasionally. Today, for this month of February, I am mostly doing Transformers stuff because I don't want to be in the love tonight in February. Oh, hello! Bhutan! A fellow Asian. Welcome to the stream. I am from the Philippines. Eto. Right now, this is the second part of my Yap session of going through the entirety of the IDW comics lore, which I read for a year because it was kind of very hard to go through Phase 1. Phase 2, however, was very fun. We're memeing on Transformers lore. Yes, we are. It's the only way I can explain it to people that will not read this. You know? I really like what they did with Robots in Disguise, man. I can't explain it to you. I really like what John Barber did here. Like, Starscream suddenly becomes important and he does really well. Bumblebee is suffering from success. The Cinnamon Roll is trying his hardest to lead the Autobots and he's failing. Prowl is getting his shit kicked in for being too logical and everything's kind of turning backside. Like, Megatron is not even involved in the picture anymore. It's all of the... Soundwave is not even involved. I think Shockwave was involved. But like, anyway, they're not fighting in a war anymore. They just want a power... There's a power vacuum and they're all kind of just dealing with it. Who's my favorite Transformer? I have two. The first one is Starscream and the second one is Rodimus or Hot Rod. Yeah, those are my favorite. Who's yours? Transformer spotlights. Okay, there is a bit of spotlight here. I actually didn't like... Megatron was in his pajamas eating ice cream while watching movies. No. Anyway, there's a series of spotlights that I don't really remember much. I don't remember a lot about Orion Pax. The Thundercracker spotlight was really nice because at this point in time, in the comic lore, Thundercracker is now defected from the Decepticons. He's not affiliated with the Autobots either. He's on Earth, affiliated with Marisa Fairborn, or the Human Alliance that defends Earth from Cybertronians, or like supernatural space threats, essentially. This spotlight kind of, it's like way back into the timeline when he was still a Decepticon, and it kind of it implants the idea of him defecting early on. Like, he has, because like I don't know if you remember, but in Phase 1, the main reason why the conflict between the Autobots and the Decepticon ends in Earth was because of Thundercracker's defection. He saves New York from a nuclear bomb. I just remembered that the Transformers, the movie, is 25 years now and they're doing an apology tour screening of the film. Right? I haven't watched the trailer for the apology tour. But I did watch the 85 movie because I had to. Come on. I was reading the comics. I was watching the Netflix trilogy that was connected to the G1 cartoons, but like apparently not. Like, it's an alternate universe thing. Anyway, I just wanted to understand what was happening. I didn't even watch G1 yet, but I did watch the movie already. Anyway, I just really like Thundercracker's character, so I'm really excited to read him in Skybound. I haven't read Skybound yet. I want to read through a couple more comics before I go to Skybound. There is still The Last Bot Standing that I haven't read. I haven't read Shattered Glass, so I still need to read that one. But either way, Thundercracker's beginnings, starting to doubt the cause of the Decepticons in the spotlight was really great. Megatron spotlight. I think this happened sometime after All Hail Megatron, where he's beaten up. The Decepticons are in the moon. I was influenced by a toy reviewer, Jobby DeHong, to like Transformers. Oh, that's an interesting gateway into Transformers. When did you get into it? My Hamskis already know this, but for the newcomers on the chat, I got into Transformers, funnily enough, during the Bayverse era. And when the first Bayverse movie came out, it was also the same time when the animated series was out. So while I was waiting on the second movie for the Bayverse movies to come out, I was watching the animated show, and I was really, really into it up until the fourth movie of the Bayverse movies, and I just didn't like it, and I fell off. Bayverse 7 years ago. Oh, cool. While I was watching Bayverse and the Transformers animated series, I collected with my sister a bunch of toys. Back then, they're still here. We kept it. We kept them. So I have some quote unquote vintage toys here in my house. And then after that, I kind of just fell off Transformers. And then when Transformers 1 came out, it just went back full force. Michael Bay is making another Bayverse Transformers movie. We need somebody else in the helm, man. Like, the whole patriotistic bullshit with Transformers, that's not Transformers. They have their own politics. Man, can we get some new ideas in the house? Like, I enjoy rehashing or like being influenced by the comics and stuff like that. But we need new ideas. TF1 was such a good one. They used a lot of the elements from IDW and Transformers Prime and kind of polished it. I like that because it feels familiar, but at the same time, it's different. There is this recent YouTube series. It's like 5 minutes long. The Cyberworld series is also really good. It kind of returned the series to being a child, like I wouldn't say child, like a fun series for children to watch where they could just enjoy robots doing their thing. But it also feels like there is this very interesting mystery element in it that hooks me in the same way that Gravity Falls hooked me. Like, it's telling you it's a it's a cartoon, but there's also this element that if you look hard enough, it's very interesting to kind of figure out, okay, where is this all going to lead? I like that. I like Cyberworld. You should check it out. Plus there's no new interesting Transformers stuff except for maybe Skybound. But that's Skybound. That's comics. What about for like the mainstream stuff? I want something new. Transformers animated was one of the best new ideas out there. I really like Transformers animated. I want a slice of life Transformers type shit. Yeah! I find it funny how Transformers lore just tells you how unimportant the Transformers movies are lore-wise, and then adding humans into the story feels like an attempt to attract attention. Man, after you read through like the top tier Transformers stories, everything that Bayverse shows is dog shit. Like, I used to enjoy the first, I still kind of enjoy the first Bayverse movie, but everything after that, bullshit. Except Bumblebee. Bumblebee was really nice. Rise of the Beasts is a hit or miss for me. I think they tried to do too much, a little too fast. But I do like the human characters for Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast. They're some of the best human characters ever made. Megatron is just him, after All Hail Megatron, beating his people back in line. Also, it was mostly Starscream. Bumblebee is set after the time they go back to Cybertron and he accepts his role as the leader of the Autobots. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Trail Cutter, he becomes important in MTMTE later, but I don't really remember a lot about this. And Hoist as well. They become important too, more than meets the eye, but again, I do not remember them. Oh, Trail Cutter is a outlier. He can make force fields. What do you think about the Shattered Glass version? I know a little bit about I know that it's like an inversion story, but I haven't read the Shattered Glass series. I intend to read it, but I haven't done it yet. I have a Shattered Glass Optimus model kit that I haven't opened yet or haven't built on stream yet because I don't want to build it without having read the comics. So it's for that. I'm waiting when you finally see the announcement of me having Shattered Glass Optimus for a build stream, that's because I've already finished reading it. Oh, here's my Discord if you're interested in checking us out, or here's my socials as well if you want to just see me post. I post random shit, mostly Transformers. I will post Transformers on Twitter as well. Anyway, next would be More Than Meets the Eye. 16 issues 16 to 22. Fucking hell, really sad set of issues inbound. So the last time we were with More Than Meets the Eye was the Overlord arc. Rewind is dead. Everybody, I think a bunch of other side characters are also dead. Now everybody knows that Overlord is in the ship. Rodimus wants to take the blame, but Drift says, I will take the blame because you deserve to be on this ship. God, Drift's hero worship for Rodimus is insane. But anyway, he takes the blame. He leaves the Lost Light. Chrome Dome's in his depression arc, like I said earlier. The Lost Light's first big save after 16 issues of fucking around and finding out in issues 15, they finally do something nice. It also affected the mainline series, Robots in Disguise series. They save all of Cybertron. So the Aquitas machine from Sins of the Wreckers is back. Or tama ba? Sins of the Wreckers, I think. Where they caught Overlord in Garrus Knight. Garrus Knight, it's back. Essentially, I forget who is using it. I forget the person that's using it. Chief Tyrest, Justice Tyrest, which is essentially like the Chief Justice that works to govern all of the war crimes. Essentially, he judges people for it. Ultra Magnus worked under him for a while. So then, Chief Justice Tyrest is using the Aquitas machine to kind of kill every Cybertronian that is code constructed. I'm not really sure this is the first time it's introduced, but there is this is where I remember it being clearly introduced. Cybertronians who were forged and who is code constructed. If you're thinking about collecting figurines of Transformers, buy those third-party companies. They has the most accurate figures. I tend to shift it around. The ones that I bought are mostly I bought the official Legends issues, or like the official Legends Transformers of the characters that I like. I also have some of the YOLO Park. I have YOLO Parks, but I guess I'm not buying YOLO Parks anymore. I like my Transformers to be transforming. You know, I really like Flame Toys articulation for their model kits, so I'm gonna keep buying Flame Toys if they release more. Studio Class? No. Legends. The Legends series. Hold on, let me check my book. To save up space, I've turned most of my Transformer boxes into cards. The Takara Tomy toy line. Transformers Legacy Evolution, Transformers United, More Than Meets the Eye, and the Studio Series. The Studio Series, I also got them. And then the Flame Toy ones. The only third parties that I have bought so far is the Deformation. I bought Deformation Tarn. And then God, what was the Starscream's model again? This one's my most expensive one, the Starscream. Hold on. The MDLX Starscream. The MDLX Starscream. My only problem with the MDLX figures is that they don't transform. They're very intricate robot models. They're not very posable like the Flame Toy kits, but they do work for if you want more detail on your robots. They're pretty nice. They're really bulky. In terms of like the weight, I think they're the closest to like being a Cybertronian in real life. But it doesn't transform. Oh, I also bought the Transformer Prime third parties. I forget what the APC. The APC Transformer Prime models of Megatron. I haven't bought the Optimus Prime version, but the Megatron APC model is pretty cool. Yeah, they probably focus more on aesthetic than play value. Yeah, they are aesthetic. I bought it just for that because I am a Starscream ho, so I will buy it. Okay, hold on. Okay, Tofi's in the house. Tofi's in the house. I will check him out. Drop me the Hong reviews. He mostly does Transformers reviews, both official and third-party companies. My problem with third-party companies is that I don't know who sells them here in my country. The ones that I know are definitely available here is the Flame Toys, because they're Chinese brand. The NDLX series, the NDLX, the Deformations are also available here, but the Deformation is kind of hard to find. I'm thinking about getting a third party of Drift, a transformable Drift. I saw some of them, but my problem with some of the third party Transformers is that I saw some 3-0. Ooh. Yeah, I did see some 3-0 as well. My only problem with some of the third parties is that they're kind of hard to transform. There's a lot of steps to transform them as compared to how simple. Say what you want with the detail in the Takara Tomy or the Hasbro made figures, but they're pretty easy to understand. The third party ones are there's so much steps. It's a hassle to transform them in and out of their bot modes or like their alt modes. Oh. Okay, hold on. I'll give you a snack. Here you go, buddy. Unique toy companies as those Bayverse Transformers figures. Oh, well, you know what my favorite? I still have a official Hasbro Transformer figure from the Bayverse movies. My favorite one is still Sideswipe. I have a Sideswipe. So cool. He's so cool. I love his foot wheels and his blade hands. There is going to be a new set of Takara Tomy toys from like Overgear, I think, the new Japanese Transformer show that's gonna come out soon. I like the design and the style of Blackout. He kind of looks like Bayverse Blackout in a sense. And I want that helicopter. I want it. Oh, I'm also looking for... I have seen the trailer, yes. I think it's focused on a lot of guns. It's focused on a lot of guns. I don't know what the story is gonna be. It feels dates in my... Dates? Dates? It feels dates. What's that mean? I like the greedy style. Watch those reviews before you buy. Dated, yeah. Because it is a 3D anime. It is a 3D style anime, so it does feel a little bit dated, but who knows? Any Transformer show, I'm probably gonna check them out anyway. I am looking for an Arachnid Legends. A Studio Series Arachnid. I am looking for one. I haven't seen it on the shelves here. From Transformers 1. Arachnid Studio Series Transformers 1. The Transformers 1 for Starscream model, I thought about getting it, but I really don't like the face sculpt. I like the face sculpt, but I don't know. I already have the... Oh, Blockies. Blockies is also pretty good. The Blockies classic versions, at least. Or the action versions. I don't like their gotchas a lot. Except for the Defenders. The Defenders are pretty cute. Ah, that bitch. Yeah, that bitch. I want that bitch. I don't... It's in... Her alt mode in toy form is so interesting. And then you transform him and then she looks like that. Interesting. Gotcha? Where? No. No. A friend of mine gave me a shining version of the Defender set, the Spark of Decepticon. Oh, the Spark, yeah, the Spark of Deception set. Because it has IDW Megatron, IDW Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, Shattered Glass Starscream, Shockwave Viewfinder, and an IDW Megatron secret figure. I said I typically don't want to buy I don't want to buy the gacha boxes because I have really bad luck with the gacha boxes. So whenever it's ToyCon, that's the only time when I look for they sell it for a little bit of a higher price, but it allows me to get an assured character from the gacha. And they bought this for me because they said the chances of getting a character that I like from this set is pretty okay. And then I ended up getting the one that I didn't like. The second one that I didn't like. So, but anyway, Wheeljack is fine. Wheeljack's fine. It's okay. I could have gotten somebody else, but like, it's okay. What do you think about the Godzilla collab? I did see the Godzilla collab, but I'm not... Oh! Wait, no. Wait, am I thinking of the right one? Or am I thinking of the Neon Genesis Evangelion collab? I shall transfer to you my gacha luck. No, I don't want to spend it on the blocky gacha. No. I'm not doing that. I just have to wait for ToyCon. And I'll find it there. And you get... Exactly! I get Wheeljack. Damn! Yes, Tofi. My cat wants to be touched. So I will touch him while I yap. Okay, wait. Topi. Megatron as Godzilla and Optimus Prime as Kiryu, Mechagodzilla. Oh, I did not see that, I think. Okay, continuing on. So with MTMT, like I said, this is the set of issues where I think they clarified, because like it's already implied that some of the Cybertronians are forged and some are cold constructed. I did feed him. Okay, fine. Here, get some more. I think he just wants to go out. The forged Cybertronians are Cybertronians that were picked up from the hotspot, or where sparks are formed, and then they have blacksmiths that it's on the floor, dude, over there, that what do you call this, mold their metal to become the form that they feel like or they see inside the spark. Essentially, they build you as you want you to become. Your spark wants to become. You're forged. Cold constructed, however, is they already have a body for you, and then they just put the spark in it. So essentially, a cold constructed is not a fully realized Cybertronian. You are forced into a body that's not your own. 70th anniversary of Godzilla. Oh, cool. Did y'all see the quote-unquote leak plot for Godzilla -0? That sounds sick, to be honest. It is! It's very sick. Oh, God. Cold constructed is kind of... it's... a leaked what? Yeah, I think it's fake. But, like, it's kind of funny that Godzilla just comes back because the main character of Godzilla -1 is having a happy life. And Godzilla was like, no, fuck you! You can't be happy! Godzilla figures. I'm not a particular fan of Godzilla figures. And somehow Godzilla is back. I just recently got into Godzilla as well. Because I binged with the Hamskis, my community on Discord, I think like a year ago or 2 years ago. We watched the entirety of Monsterverse. The American side of Godzilla. And then we also watch -1, just because it's like the Japanese side is pretty fun. Figuratively and literally. I'll tell you which company to buy. Do you collect Godzilla figures, Kiryu? Okay, continuing on. So like it's also in this issue that it's revealed that Ultra Magnus is actually a small bot. His name is Minimus Ambus. And then Ultra Magnus is actually he's a Gundam. Ultra Magnus is a Gundam. Minimus Ambus is the Cybertronian that controls the Ultra Magnus armor. And he is the Ultra Magnus is essentially a figurehead that is passed down to generations and generations so that he doesn't die. But the person controlling him changes. A robot within a robot. So the current pilot of Ultra Magnus is Minimus Ambus. And this is where the entire crew finds out that, you know what? Ultra Magnus is a tiny bot. And then Rodimus and Minimus finally get along. I did not mention before this, but in the Lost Light, they have the leadership is Rodimus is the captain, and then Drift is the second in command, and then Ultra Magnus is like third in command. Rodimus just kind of does willy-nilly. Drift kind of runs the ship, and then Magnus runs the ship. He runs it so hard like it's a prison camp. He and Rodimus don't see eye to eye because Drift just does whatever Rodimus wants. He enables this motherfucker. And then they don't see eye to eye, and it is in this issue that Magnus or Minimus realizes that Rodimus wants to do better after Overlord, and they kinda they make up. They make up. This is where I started shipping Ultra Magnus and Rodimus, or Minimus Ambus and Rodimus. It's a good pairing, okay? I'll go out. Iya Company has the hood and accurate figures than those of the Machination Bandai. Plus pretty good prices in terms of dollars. I see. Okay, I still can't forget. Dude, I didn't even watch that. I didn't even watch the, what do you call this? Rodinimus? No, I think the ship name for Rodimus and Minimus is just Magnus. Rodmag, I think is the ship name. Or Minimus, I think. Minimus. I think. Minimus. Anyway, I didn't even watch that was the last night, right? That was the last night. What do you mean Hot Rod is French? Hot Mag. Magnum. It's Rod Mag. Moving on, we're back to RID. And so begins the absolute state of Shockwave's war crimes. There is this video on YouTube that you can watch if you don't want to read IDW. There is a video on YouTube that I watched about why Shockwave is the worst. Shockwave's war crimes. You know, like, there's this video by Mr. Normal Person on YouTube where the title is There's Satan and then there's Shockwave. Committing war crimes. Okay, well, hold on. I'm not going to explain to you what the entirety of it is, but I will share you a video that you can watch instead. Okay, I don't need sleep, I need answers. You can watch this video. There's 2 parts. Okay, anyway, TLDR, Shockwave has been ever since he became the Shockwave that we know of him as, after he was Shadowplayed, started drafting a plan to save Cybertron. How does he do it? With the Dark Cybertron prophecy. You still streaming? Okay, so then, essentially what he does, if you remember from the very first part, thank you John Barber, from the very first part of the IDW series, the concept of Or 13 is introduced. Hello Zacer, welcome back. The concept of Or 13 is introduced. It is essentially super energon that Starscream uses to supercharge himself to try and kill Megatron. It comes back to Dark Cybertron. Or 13 is one of 13 ores that Shockwave has implanted in organic planets. He put them there way back in the past so that it could generate endless amount of energon or energy for Cybertron. Once it's time to harvest them, it will provide infinite amount of energon into Cybertron, essentially making them immortal. But the 13 planets that he put these ores on will die. Okay? Megatron does not know of this. Nobody knows of this. Only he knows of this. And then Starscream is elected leader of Cybertron. How? After the events of the previous, the Devastator thing that happened in the previous Robots in Disguise, Starscream is now again, a lot of the Cybertronians, because of the Titan's prophecy, believe Starscream is now the chosen one. So they vote him as the leader of Cybertron. Starscream kills Metal Hawk, so that's one enemy down. Bumblebee because of the shit decisions that he did because of Prowl. Nobody believes in him. So only Starscream is the only one that the rest of Cybertron kind of thinks is capable of leading them into a new age. He's also very charismatic. You know, Starscream, he's charismatic. People believe in him. Wait, so they put Starscream in charge. They put Starscream. No. You don't understand. He's actually really good at it. I'm standing up now. Hello, thank you for the follow. You don't understand. He's really good at it. Oh. Okay. So then RC officially becomes an Autobot. In the comics, Starscream the Riz Lord. Yeah, he rizzed the entirety of Cybertron because of his delusion that he's the chosen one. Anyway, RC becomes an Autobot because in the comics, RC is not officially an Autobot. She was essentially a neutral. Starscream. She officially becomes an Autobot after I don't remember who she talks to, but I know for a fact she hates Prowl. Or she pities Prowl because she knows that Prowl is just doing the best, trying to do his best to save Cybertron and like his Autobot friends, but he's doing it in a shit way. So he pities Prowl in the sense that you don't have friends, but you want to have friends and that stuff. And RC, who has been alone for most of her life, decides to, you know what, maybe it's time for me to start talking to people and like connecting with other people. I've been a loner and an assassin for far too long. I'm gonna join the Autobots. Oh, I think it's Bumblebee she talks to. You disappointed me yet again! Oh wait, how did you get that crown? In my mind, Megatron if he saw Starscream. Oh, you guys are not ready for what happens to Megatron later on. Megatron's still dead. Anyway, so Orion, who's doing his whole B-plot with Shockwave, he is now he's hunting down... I should have hopped on this train before. They're hunting down Jhiaxus. Jhiaxus has been mentioned in Phase 1, way back. Jhiaxus is the mentor of Shockwave. He's also like a mad scientist thing, but he's more of a zealot. He is a big religious zealot for Nova Prime, who is, in the comics, is also Nemesis Prime. This connects to Dark Cybertron. Anyway, well, got meeting Shane. Bye, Shooty! And then, the Wave domestic dispute. I just call it the Wave domestic dispute because... Okay, Soundwave takes the mantle as leader of the Decepticons. He's actually really good as their leader. Because, what Soundwave ends up doing is he kind of puts them back to what their original ideals was. Yeah, I like RC from TF Prime. She's really cool. She needs therapy. Everybody needs therapy. This RC, however, needs more therapy. What was it? Oh yeah, so like Soundwave wants the Decepticons to be like their own separate thing away from Cybertron and the Autobots. He kind of wants to do a private state just made out of Decepticons, or at least a safe space for Cybertronians that don't feel like they belong in the Autobot-ruled Cybertron. So he does his own thing. He doesn't want to fight them for Cybertron. He's like, okay, they don't want us here. Let's just move the fuck out. Meanwhile, Shockwave is like, no. I need them. I need the Decepticons. I'm gonna lead them because we deserve to stay in here. We deserve to stay in Cybertron. It's a they're having a domestic dispute over the Decepticons, and the Decepticons are like, who do we go to? who do we follow? Do we follow Soundwave, who's like peacefully asking us to leave and we just do our own thing? Or we follow Shockwave, who just wants to commit more war crimes? Versus Starscream, who doesn't really think of us. Because, you know, Starscream is now the leader of Cybertron. While he does want to help the Decepticons, if he helps think of it this way, political gaming, if he helps the Decepticons, the Nails or the Neutrals or the Autobots will think he went into power so that they would fill up the power vacuum and Decepticons would end up on top. So for the public to not think of him that way, he's not helping the Decepticons. He's after everybody else. He's after the public image. He's playing a chess game. The only Starscream I liked was that one Japanese anime of Transformer where he was, I still need to watch Armada. I am deciding on which one I need to watch first. Definitely Armada. It's either Armada or G1. I don't know which one I'll watch first. They're both available on YouTube in the dub. So like, if you think about it right, every time you light a lighter, that lighter gets lighter until the lighter is too light to light. Damn! It's so bright in here. Hello, allies. Welcome to the stream. My name is Sushis. Local overwork with Panda. I work as an izakaya waitress in the morning and a certified variety streamer and yapper at night. I also really, really like Transformers. So for the month of February, instead of talking about love, I am talking about Transformers. Yeah, which is something that I love. Moving on! Dark Cybertron time! Dark Cybertron time! What do I remember about the Dark Cybertron era? The Decepticons and the Autobots band together to take down Shockwave. That's it. that's the short version. The long version is, here it is. It's alternating between Robots in Disguise and More Than Meets the Eye. It's a continuous version because they are released at the same time. So let's say RID 23, MTMTE 23, RID 24, MTMTE 24, and so on and so forth until you reach 27. So the most simplified thing I can get into this is that Shockwave's war crimes, a million years in the making, the regenesis of Ors 1 to 13, which essentially collapses all of reality into a singularity to eternally feed or power Cybertron. Nobody wants this because it would kill everybody. Windblade is here! Windblade is here, and the rest of other female Transformers that was not included in the first phase. Jesus, Galvatron is here. Galvatron has always been here. But he's just kind of there. Megatron's Space Bridge stealth bomber body being dragged around by Bumblebee, which is really funny. The whole Megatron's back. They kind of need his Space Bridge body or like his stealth bomber body for something. And for some reason, because his body is cut in half, he can't move. Bumblebee decides to lug him around like he's a backpack from what's that game by Hideo Kojima? The one with what's his name? Fuck, what's that name? The one where you just deliver Amazon boxes. What's that game? Death Stranding. He essentially Death Stranding's Megatron around Cybertron until they get to Shockwave. And then sometime when they were finally Death Stranding, yeah. And then when they finally get to Shockwave, Optimus is there, Megatron is there, Bumblebee is there. Shockwave shoots Bumblebee. Bumblebee dies. While Megatron is being Death Stranded by Bumblebee, they kind of have a heart-to-heart. And Megatron defects to become an Autobot thanks to Bumblebee. The one right thing he does. The one right thing he does after he becomes leader of Cybertron and fucks it up. So I don't have a picture of it here. But essentially what happens after Bumblebee dies. Megatron, I don't remember if he takes Bumblebee's insignia, but he puts it over his chest. He essentially steals Bumblebee's insignia, claims himself to be an Autobot, and then Orion Pax, because he's not Optimus, he's currently Orion Pax right now. Orion Pax kills Shockwave after the whole regenesis or the singularity was happening. Shadow played Shockwave, the current Shockwave that we have, and his friend Senator Shockwave currently merge together So Senator Shockwave now realizes what is happening, and he begs Orion Pax to kill him because he doesn't want this. Like, he wants Cybertron to be like eternal and stuff. He wants it to live forever. But the means that he's doing now without his emotional center as Shockwave, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want Orion Pax to die. Guys, Humskies, is it gay to tell your friend to kill me because I have committed too much war crimes? Possibly. Possibly. Anyway, they kill Shockwave. Notice the air quotes, that would be important later on. Kill Shockwave. No, it's not gay. Orion Pax then reclaims the title of Prime, and Galvatron is now the leader of the Decepticons. Who won the custody battle between the Decepticons? It's not Soundwave, it's not Shockwave, it's now Galvatron. Oh shit, where did my model go? What the fuck? Where did I go? Oh no! Oh no, my model! It's fucked! Wait, what? Okay, let's fix it again. There you go. Ah, that's my head. Lower. Lower. There you go. That's me. Alright. It's not gay! Alright, well, whatever. Okay, Galvatron. God, we're only at slide 20 of 79. Okay, so now how many books have we read so far? Out of 397 books of the entirety of the IDW reading order, we have now reached 199. Good lord, 199. At this point, I was halfway through the year. This was, when did I read this? 2024. I read this on 2024. See? 2024! Halfway to 2024, I am now 199 books done out of the timeline. This now leads us to, hello hearts, welcome back! This now leads us to the second season! The second season, a reinvention of the current lore. Again, a new jumping point. This is now another sort of like a soft reboot. This is another jumping point for new readers because of the new status quo, which now divides the two main titles into three. The two main titles, which used to be Robots in Disguise and More Than Meets the Eye, now includes Windblade. There's now three of them. Where did I put that? I don't know if I'm going to mention, if I mentioned it here or not, or if I will mention it later. But anyway, the TLDR is Robots in Disguise is now focused on Earth with Optimus and a little bit of Cybertron, but mostly Earth. More Than Meets the Eye is focused with Megatron and the Lost Light out in space looking for the Knights of Cybertron and Cyber Utopia again. And then Windblade is now the political center of the main 9 titles, with Windblade against Starscream. Okay, Windblade! One of my fucking favorites. I love this comic. I love this a lot. I think, if I remember correctly, the Scott and Stone. Okay, I think this is one of the... This one, Windblade, Till All Are One. And because I can't... Yay! I disappeared again. Where's my body? Hold on. I disappeared again. Something's wrong with my camera at the moment. Here you go. Oh, where is it? There it is. I think, if I remember correctly, do not quote me on this, but it might be it. Windblade, and then the following series that it jumps into after, which is Still All Are One. The main crew that worked on it are all women. The main writer is a woman. Sarah Stone, one of, I would say, the best artists, or like the best arts I have ever seen in the comics. Also did the art for this. So both women, two ladies, I might say. Two ladies with a lady MC main character leading it, like golden. And then Till All Are One too is also with a female artist. So I love this series. Starscream's good or bad here? He's a bit of both. He's a bit of both. He's kind of like those. He wants what's good for Cybertron, but he does still have his tendencies to scheme and backstab and self-sabotage, which makes a lot of people in the government not like him. Is that a VTuber who? Windblade? So he ain't the hero type. Nope. No, he's not. He's not. He's very politician. Anyway, this got me hooked. Oh, me? Yes. Yes, I am. I am a VTuber. Right, I got me hooked on post-war Cybertron. Yeah, like, RID was like, okay, but the only reason I was reading that was for Starscream's whole chosen hero prophecy thing. But like, after Windblade is what really got me hooked in the post-war Cybertron stuff. I was already into more than meets the eye. RID was kind of like at the backdrop. But Windblade is where I got absolutely fucking hooked. Whatever was going down in here, I was interested in it. Easily one of the best arts in all of IDW. Because of Sarah Stone. Do I have pictures of it here? I don't have pictures of it here. I forgot to add them. Anyway, more female bots are introduced in here. I'm not sure if this is where they connected the other colonies. I don't think so. It's not yet here. It's not yet here. But more female bots are introduced. Particularly Windblade and Chromia. And then there are a few more bots from... Where is Windblade from? Windblade is from... Fuck, what's her... She's from a colony of Cybertron. I forget what the colony's name is, but most of the bots in their colony are female. So, there are a bunch of others that came along with her. Nautica joined the Lost Light. Anyway, Windblade is what they call a city speaker. She is able to talk to titans. She's essentially a priestess. Her design, so Starscream's a pimp. A pimp? Eh? I'm not particularly sure what the pimp means. Like, I know what it is, but like, I'm not at liberty to discuss what it means, I think. Anyway, so Windblade is actually a fan character created by the entire fandom. She was a... kind of like, she was a lottery thing? A pimp named Starscream? She was a fan-made character. Every issue of Transformers comics released before she was introduced had a poll. Oh, poll created character, that's what it is. So the company essentially asked viewers or readers to decide whether they wanted a Decepticon or a new Autobot. And then everybody said they wanted a new Autobot. And after that, it was, do you want it to be a flyer? Or like, what alt mode do you want it to have? And then, they ended up with a jet. And then, do you want it to be a male or a female Autobot? They wanted it to be a female. And then, basta, it's a set of polls that essentially led to Windblade being created. Oh, they also chose the name. I think the fandom also chose the name. And then, her design was made by a Japanese artist, an ecchi artist, if I remember correctly. And her entire shtick, they can change their gender. No. Wait, okay, this is a big ball of discussion. In phase one, because of the main writer's, ideology or like idea or stubbornness to not introduce female Transformers into the lore, because in G1 female Transformers quote-unquote didn't exist until later on because they had to sell female Transformers to the female audience that also liked the G1 cartoons. The main writer of the phase 1 essentially made or forced RC to become a female bot. RC in the IDW comics was a male presenting Cybertronian. Jyaxus, if you remembered earlier, experimented on her and turned her into a female bot. This made RC really, really angry, and she has been looking for Jyaxus for 1,000+ years to kill the motherfucker. Because like in phase 1, you literally see no other female bots except, actually no, there are no female except for RC, and that's the reason why they say that's the reason why for phase 1. In phase 2, they explained the reason why there are no fembots in Cybertron was because most of them left. They all left at the beginning of time with the Titans to create colonies outside of Cybertron. And after a long period of time where the Titans ended up not contacting each other, they lost contact with Cybertron, and that history was erased. They did not know that fembots existed, except for RC. They didn't know that other fembots exist. Now, the other colonies are living in harmony with their female bots and their male-presenting bots. They essentially don't use pronouns, but after the female bots were introduced, some male-presenting characters in Phase 1 did start using female pronouns. So it's kind of nice. I really like that part. Anyway, it's up to you, essentially. And like, they're robots. They can change the way they look. You want female boobs on because you feel more female presenting? Go ahead. You want to take out the boobs? Go ahead. You can do that too. In fanon, in fanfiction, every Cybertronian has a dick and a vagina. Equality. Anyway, as I said, City Speaker. Because of her design looking like this, I think her design kind of is kind of like a geisha design. Because of that, I think that might have related to her City Speaker thing, but I'm not sure. Anyway, she can talk to Titans. She is revered in her colony because of that. She's kind of a religious figure, essentially. When she enters in the story as a colony, as a representative of the colony that she is from, she ends up clashing with Starscream. The girls are fighting, Your Honor. Starscream wants Windblade out, and Windblade wants to work together with Starscream so they can reconnect with with their homeland, essentially, because they are a colony. They're out there in space. They made a life for themselves, but they're kind of like refugees out there in space, and they haven't returned, or they have lost contact with their home planet. And now that they have a means to do so, Windblade wants to do everything in her power to get in to return her colony to Cybertron. So then Windblade agrees to help Starscream as the chosen one. That is issues 1 to 4. Is there more of this? I think there is more to this. I don't remember if this is where Starscream starts to blackmail Windblade. But essentially, Starscream, I'm not really sure if this is where it started. Because Windblade's bodyguard, Chromia, does something really bad. She starts bombing certain parts of Cybertron, and Starscream found out that it was her, and Windblade, to protect Chromia, decides to work for Starscream to make Starscream to make the rest of Cybertron believe that he is the chosen one, because she can talk to she can talk to Titans. And who mentioned that Starscream is the chosen one? A Titan. So having her word, what do you call this? Having her speak the truth that Starscream is the chosen one adds credibility to Starscream's claim that he should be the right leader for Cybertron. He's using her, okay? And what I really like about this is that Windblade is very naive. She's very naive, and Chromia has been trying to protect her from the whole political aspect, or like the whole 5D chess gaming that's happening on Cybertron that she knows nothing about. But what I really like about the relationship between Windblade and Starscream, later on, you'll find out more about them later on, is that Windblade starts to match Starscream's wits. And Starscream is a little surprised, because he thought that Windblade was going to cave. If you've never watched Devil Wears Prada, their relationship is kind of like Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway's relationship as the boss and the secretary. Meryl Streep, Starscream, is trying to get Windblade to like quit or lose hope and stuff like that. But Windblade keeps fighting back, and Starscream's a little bit impressed. More than meets the eye. 28 to 33. This is where it starts branching out. More than meets the eye starts moving away, very, very far away from what's happening. What's happening, like, very, very far away from Robots in Disguise and Windblade. Because at this point, it's now Windblade and Windblade and Robots in Disguise going side by side forward into the political aspect, while More Than Meets the Eye goes way further into the unknown. The multiverse. Are you ready for this? Okay, this is really fun. Man. If there's ever any comics that you're going to read from the IDW series, just read More Than Meets the Eye. It's really fun. Which one is the one with Carbombia? Chromia? Who is Carbombia? Are you saying something to... I don't know. Chromia's in... If it's Chromia, that's gonna be Windblade until all are one. Anyway, at this point, Megatron joins the Lost Light. It has a backstory, the occasional backstory to what happened in Megatron's trial. After the events of Dark Cybertron, he is captured and he agrees to have a trial. Carbombia. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I feel like that's... I feel like you're trying to make me say something. Where was I? Oh yeah. So after he becomes an Autobot, well, Autobot by insignia, but not by virtue. He hasn't taken the whole... Ah! Hold on, let me check that out. Oh, I don't think this is a G1 thing. I don't think they're available in IDW. They are in Shattered Glass though, apparently. They're not in IDW. Yeah. They took them out. Do you have your own OC Transformers character? I do, but they're kind of I'll talk about them some other time, okay? I'll talk about them some other time. They are based of they're Cybertronian kids, okay? They are they're children of two Cybertronians that I ship. Which is totally not Meg-Up. But like, okay. Anyway, moving on. So like I said, after he defects to the Autobots, Megatron agrees to stand trial. But he also doesn't want to die. So he kind of finds a way to lengthen his trial. The way that he does it is he says, look, one of your Autobots, Rodimus, is looking for the Knights of Cybertron, and according to the law, the Knights of Cybertron can give me my judgment. And I want to find them and let them judge me instead. That's what he does. And then everybody just goes, fuck. It's in the law. We gotta let him have this. Even though everybody knows that he's being a coward and he's not taking responsibility for whatever shit that he did in the past by running away. He makes a really big mistake because when he enters the Lost Light and it's just a bunch of neurodivergent Transformers unable to follow instructions, doing whatever shit they want, having random adventures here and there, having random fights here and there, he crashes out. Like, what the fuck is this ship? He also has to have mandatory sessions with Rung. If you remember him, Rung is the therapist available in the Lost Light. He has to have sessions with Rung. He doesn't like it, but he has to have sessions. And in the very first the very first big event that happens in when he joins the Lost Light is the ship and its members start disappearing. The reason why eventually they find out is that after the explosion, going all the way back from issue 1, the explosion that catapults the Lost Light way out into the unknown actually hurt the ship's star drive, essentially. Their star drive. What happened when the explosion happened, is it split the Lost Light into 2 different versions. The version that we follow, and then a version that dies. This version is killed by the DJD. After they follow follow some threads or something, they find out about the Lost Light. They find Drift in the Lost Light because Drift is a former Decepticon named Deadlock, and the DJD hunts down deserters of Decepticon movement. They take out Drift, and then out of like the joy of killing, they end up killing the entire ship. And now the reason why that the other the Lost Light ship that we're following throughout the entirety of the series is starting to slowly disappear is because they somehow found the alternate universe ship. They somehow found it, and now they are merging together. Everybody that's part of the original ship when the explosion happened is starting to disappear. Every new Transformer, every new Cybertronian that joined the Lost Light before the explosion are the only ones that did not disappear. So they're the ones that have to solve the problem. And then, in the Alter Universe ship where everybody's dead, they find Rewind. Rewind is the only survivor. Remember, Rewind is dead? He's back. Although an alternate version of him. Ravage is also part of the crew now. Soundwave sent him out there to keep an eye on Megatron. He has to keep an eye on his wife. And then it's revealed that Brainstorm, one of the crew members of the Lost Light, who is a scientist, is revealed to be a Decepticon. In the alternate universe, he was the one that contacted the DJD about Drift. Drift's presence in the Lost Light. And now everybody thinks Brainstorm is gonna be out to kill them all. Oh, also, Rewind's back! Oh, Rewind's back, right? After they fix everything, the Lost Light crew that we are following is now back whole. Rewind did not disappear. The Rewind from the alternate universe did not disappear. He just ended up existing in the current timeline. Because now, I think what's happened... Oh, not yet pala. Not yet. It's not yet happening. But, anyway, he's still alive. And this is, like, literally one of the saddest parts. This got me tearing up a little bit. Remember, Chrome Dome has been depressed that his Rewind is dead. And then when he came back and he found out that a version of Rewind is alive, is now here. And then everybody tells Chrome Dome that, hey, he's waiting for you outside. And then Rewind is just sitting outside watching the stars. Chrome Dome sits down with him. And then I just really like how the way this panel was made. We start from here, and then Chrome Dome looks at Rewind, and then he looks forward, and then Rewind looks at Chrome Dome, and then he sits closer, and then he leans, and then Chrome Dome puts a hand on Rewind. And they were this kind of gives them both a weird but also kind of heartwarming what do you call this? Closure for both their stories. Oh, there's another picture here that didn't load. There should be another picture here. It didn't load. Oh man. Anyway, I was wondering why it wasn't there. Anyway, with alternate Rewind, he lost his Chrome Dome, and then Chrome Dome here lost his Rewind. So they're kind of like rebounding each other with their lost with their deceased versions. Anyway, I like this because after this they become inseparable. The will they won't they that they had in the first season, it's gone now. They are very, very physically like affectionate with each other. Every panel that you see them in, Chrome Dome is hugging Rewind, or Rewind is hugging Chrome Dome, or something. They're inseparable. Robots in disguise! Okay, how far can I get this? How far can I get into this? Hold on, let me check. How far can I get into this? Without, like, oh, shit. There's an... Oh, okay, there we go. It's gonna go... I think I can stop... Okay, I will stop with... When RID changes itself into Transformers again. Because now there is a title issue against the Transformers Prime sequel, RID. Drink my water! Okay. Robots in Disguise, Part 2 of Transformers After War Politics. Like I said earlier, this is now the time on Earth with Optimus Prime and his loyalists. Because remember, after Dark Cybertron, he stops being Orion Pax and claims the title of Optimus Prime again. And he goes to Earth with a bunch of loyalists that believe in his power again as Prime. Anyway, Thundercracker is back. Thundercracker is back. Fucking A, let's go. I actually remember this very vaguely. I don't really like the after-war politics with Optimus Prime in the second half. There's a lot of Galvatron in here. I really don't like Galvatron's character. He rage-baits Optimus Prime into doing something, mostly to kickstart the war again on Earth. And this time, humans are not having it. Marisa Fairborn is now the leader of the Earth Defense Command. Thundercracker is her consultant, and Thundercracker absolutely is fucking in love with Marisa Fairborn, and I think Marisa Fairborn also really likes Thundercracker. But, you know what? We don't talk about this here. We talk about this in Archive of Our Own, or Twitter, or Tumblr. We don't talk about it in the actual comics. They will never allow Xeno species cross thingamajiggy in the comics. But Marisa Fairborn and TC, absolutely wonderful. Spike Witwicky is back. He's being a menace again. And I said, Prowl is now part of the Constructicons. So it's Prowl and his husbands are against the world. Prowl is angry that the Decepticons used him to bring back the Constructicons. He's angry that his Autobot friends did not realize that he's being mind-controlled by Bombshell. He's also angry at Spike Witwicky for, existing. And because he's now part of the part of the hive mind of the Constructicons, the Constructicons also is angry at Spike Witwicky for killing Scrapper. So, what the Constructicons want and what Prowls wants coincides. They want to kill this motherfucker. They want to kill Spike Witwicky. So it's just him and the Constructicons looking for Spike to kill him. Also, the Earth Defense Committee is making Gundams. They're making Gundams to fight against the Cybertronians if ever they decide to invade Earth again. Which is really great. They do look like Gundams. They're like red. They transform too. Think of it as like Kyrios from Gundam 00. What other Gundams transform into a jet? But it's kind of like that. They have a lot of spiky arm wings and leg wings. It's a lot of spikes. It's a lot of pointy parts in their body. Gundam. Yeah. Okay, more than meets the eye. Alright, another one! Are you ready? After how many issues from the first flashback arc of MTMTE, we are back here again. Easily one of the best arcs of MTMTE. So, remember Chaos Theory and the Shadow Play flashbacks? Yep, we are back here again. So, the need to know. So, with the previous MTMT issue, Brainstorm is revealed to be a Decepticon. Brainstorm has a case. He brings around everywhere. Nobody knows what's inside. After the previous issue, it's now revealed that inside the case, it's a time traveling item. He can use it to time travel. It has a specific charge, but right now he is using it specifically to time travel back in time to assassinate somebody. He wants to assassinate someone to essentially not let the war happen. Initially, the Lost Light thinks they are trying to Brainstorm is trying to kill Orion Pax because he is the, one of the figureheads of the war. So they think he's trying to kill Orion Pax because he is a Decepticon. Brainstorm is a Decepticon, so they think he's killing Orion Pax. Also based on the points in time that he is jumping in, Orion Pax is always there. They figure out this is wrong. They find out that this is wrong. He's actually going to assassinate Megatron when he was first created. When he was when he was first created, and then it's revealed that Megatron is actually a cold constructed. He's not forged. Remember when I said forged and cold constructed? Cold constructed is sparks are put inside a pre-made body. So Megatron was one of those. He was put inside the pre-made body. But there's more to it than that, which I will explain later. Anyway, so with his success, actually Brainstorm succeeded. He killed Megatron. He succeeded. He killed Megatron, and this is now an alternate timeline. They managed to fix it, but the flow of time has already caught up, and now there is now an alternate universe. Oh my god, this is kind of it gets a little bit confusing, but it works essentially. So after Brainstorm kills Megatron, it branches out into an alternate history where Megatron didn't rise up against functionalist Cybertron. No war happens. The Senate was ousted by the Functionist Council instead of the Decepticon or the Autobot movement. And now it's basically martial law at a grand scale, where the Functionist Council dictates your form, what your form is made for. That is the only thing you're allowed to do. If you, like for example, you're a camera, your alt mode is a camera, you're only allowed to become a reporter. You're not allowed to become anything else. If your alt mode is a crane, you're only allowed to be a construction type. That's your job. You're a construction worker. You're not allowed to become anything else. If you're a helicopter, you're only allowed to do helicopter things, whatever that is, like courier stuff, I guess. You're not allowed to become anything else. It's the entire thing it's the entire system that Orion Pax and Megatron first fought against, and that they won against, and then the whole power imbalance made them fight for the leadership of Cybertron, essentially. That worked. That ended up happening, but they also managed to fix the timeline because Whirl gave the body of Megatron a new spark, an outlier spark, mind you. I think it was an outlier spark, but it's a supercharged spark essentially. So it fixed their timeline. It fixed the original timeline by giving the Megatron mold a new spark. It still became Megatron. So that's where the timeline branches out. The Lost Light can't exist. It still exists in the current moment because of that change that World did. But now it's still too late, and the alternate history still happened. They don't know this yet, but the alternate history has happened. And now they managed to catch Brainstorm, and then they find out that the reason Brainstorm actually made a time machine and he wanted to kill Megatron to stop the war was he used to have a partner named Quark. And then he's been trying to make a time travel device to save Quark. But then after Rewind dies, the first time he was making a time travel device to save Quark from Grindcore. It's another place that's important later on. It's important part of the DJD timeline with Skids, who will be introduced. He will be important later on in MTMDA. I think he's already a main character by this point. He's already a main character in MTMT Skids at this point. And then it was mostly just to save Quark from Grindcore. But then after Rewind dies, he shifts his priority to just end the war so that nobody else dies. That he's close to, essentially. And then After they fix everything, Brainstorm is set on trial in the Lost Light, whether they're gonna kick him out or not. They let him stay. Ratchet decides to leave the Lost Light to find Drift. If you remember Drift, he decided, like, way back in issue 7, he decided to leave and take the blame for Overlord. He's gonna go look for Drift. This is the next canon. Actually, there's another canon relationship in MTMTE. It's Cyclonus and Tailgate, but we haven't really mentioned them yet. The next one would be Ratchet and Drift. They become really popular as a pair. I see the vision, but they don't have the flavor that I like when it comes to shipping. So I don't read a lot about them. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Oh, and also the B plot. The DJD is back. They become important later on. Next, Empire of Stone. This actually convinced me of the Ratchet propaganda, because the entire time in, like, the previous MTMTE series, MTMTE issues where Drift was around Ratchet, they're kind of been bickering and stuff. They do have a history. Ratchet has known Drift before he became Deadlock as a junkie that he saved in a lower class part of Cybertron. So Drift is kind of indebted to Ratchet, and Ratchet just kind of thinks of him as, like, he doesn't really mind much about him until later on, where he realizes that he kind of loves the dude. Like, Drift has always loved Ratchet. Ratchet has only started to realize that he likes Drift. That's why he followed him out. He's looking for him. They are so married. They definitely... I'll put that... You'll read that at the bottom. So, Ratchet fights Drift. They fight off an army of stone being resurrected by a power-hungry Decepticon. They win. They journey back to the Lost Light. And also, they definitely fucked on that ship on the way back. I don't know. IDW does not tell you how Transformers fucked, but you can fill in the lines if you read the Archive of Our Own or the fan fiction. You can figure it out. Depends on what flavor do you want. Do you want it with USB sticks, or do you want it with the genitalia? Your choice. Next. Oh, good lord. Robots in Disguise. Another 33 to 34. It's a prelude to the Combiner Wars. It's a backstory issue that confused me a bit. I don't really remember much about it. Just that Wheeljack is alive again. Like, way back, you remember Wheeljack died. Starscream is kind of indebted to him. He doesn't want Wheeljack to die, so he's been trying to resurrect him. Now he's back. He's trying to do good, but Starscream is kind of manipulating him into doing what he wants. So that's another one to add into Starscream's X's. And the 13 Prime's backstory and the Enigma of Combination, which was introduced in Phase 1. The 13 Prime's backstory was kind of confusing. I didn't like the 13 Prime's backstory, honestly. Moving on. That's the only thing you need to know about it. Oh, here it is. Transformers 2014. I just said it. Oh, okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay, hold on. I have time. I can keep talking about it. I have time. Hold on. Where can I stop? I have time. Okay, I have time. I can breeze through this. So that by tomorrow, when we do the Rodimus Prime figure, we can talk about Phase 3, because that's very short. Okay, Transformers. They have rebranded RID back to the Transformers because RID is now being used by Robots in Disguise. The cartoon Robots in Disguise, that is a prequel to Transformers Prime. It is now being used by that, so they return to the Transformers title. The only thing you need to know is this. The thing is that Prowl and his husbands hunt down Spike with Wiki. The Constructicons and Prowl try to hunt this motherfucker down. Galvatron is up to something again. Something with the Decepticons. To make them rule Earth. He's kind of just rehashing Megatron's plan at this point. But Earth is ready. Earth is ready for this bitch. Look. the Megatron and his Decepticons took us by surprise like 5 years ago, it's not gonna happen again. We're gonna take you down. Essentially, is what Earth said. Black Rock is introduced. I don't really like Black Rock's character, but you know what? Techno-organics are fun. Like, you know, he's kind of like Sari from animated, but not yet. He doesn't know that he's techno-organic. But imagine this. Black Rock, when I was reading the comics, he looks like Iron Man. He looks like Tony Stark. So he's like if Iron Man was actually made of iron this whole time and he didn't know. He wears a suit of armor. And then he finds out after all this time that like he didn't need the suit of armor because he was already made out of metal. So he's techno-organic. He's a Cybertronian. He just didn't he didn't know that he was. So everyone is fighting for the Enigma of Combination. Black Rock has some knowledge about the Enigma of Combination. He says that he's like a connoisseur of history when it comes to Cybertronians, and he's always known that they existed and stuff like that. Anyway, the Constructicon, Devastator, Galvatron, the Decepticons, Optimus, and his Autobots are all fighting for the Enigma of Combination, and Black Rock as well, the CDC. Everybody's fighting for the Enigma of Combination. None of them wins. Hello, Minokalu. Welcome to the stream. So, none of them wins because Starscream has the Enigma of Combination. Thank you to Scoop. Scoop is a Dinobot that now works for Starscream. He takes it. He takes the Enigma of Combination and runs it back to Starscream. This will be later important in the Till All Are One series or the Windblade series. Will be important later on. And then Thundercracker's heel turn sort of affects Soundwave's new ideals. Thundercracker talks to Soundwave, and Soundwave kind of starts having a change of heart, but not immediately like Megatron. He's starting to see that perhaps war is not the way. is what he's thinking. More than meets the eye. Okay, again, I guess okay, 41, 42, and 43 isn't really as good. Like, after what happened in the previous issues, the next 3 issues were kind of I don't really remember much about it. And then comes the good part! Okay, I credit the flower peel panel and the lock the fuck in. So what happens here is that, I think the first 3 issues after the previous issue with the... What was the last issue? Hold on. With the... Wait. Oh, with the time travel shtick. It's kind of a bit of like a breather series or like a breather episode, because it was, again, 3 issues is equals to 1 episode or 1 arc in one storyline in NTNT. It was a breather episode where they introduced Thunderclash, a Optimus Prime sort of figure. A lot of Autobots see him as the greatest Autobot of all time. Rodimus does not like this bitch. So while they were partying in his funeral, in his ship that acts as his body as well, or like it acts as his spark, because he's a little bit sick. Anyway, invasion of the body snatchers sort of plot, where the rest of the Lost Light crew that went inside Thunderclash's ship is now trying to fight this body snatchers thing. And then there was like a 1 issue of Swerve dying, and then they all kind of see 2 planets, or like an Earth following after the Lost Light, and apparently Swerve has been holo projecting Earth so he can be like the main character and stuff like that. It's kind of sad, actually, the Swerve thing, because at this point in time, after season 2, Swerve, who was a main character during season 1, is now a side character. He's kind of in the back burner now. He doesn't appear much in the 2nd season. And then the best part about this set of issues is now the Necrobot or the Cybertronian Graveyard arc, where at this point in time, Megatron's redemption is kind of solidified. For the entire time kasi, oh wow, lumabas yung kasi. For the entire time since he joined the Lost Light, he only joined it so that he can prolong his execution. But it is here where he actually starts thinking about, maybe I should use this as a way to like redeem myself, or at least to absolve. Well, he doesn't want to absolve himself of his sins. He's like, he's starting to see now that what he did in the past is like really, really, really bad, and he shouldn't be forgiven. But he will do what he could to like redeem a part, to redeem to do good for all the bad things that he did. And this is one of the, I would say this is one of the best panels I have ever seen in Transformers. This one. So when they went into the Cybertronian graveyard with the Necrobot, they have the Cybertronians have a myth that if you die, the Necrobot will take your spark and bring it to the after spark, or their afterlife essentially. And then what they ended up finding out is that the Necrobot is able to pinpoint in time when a Cybertronian dies, and then they don't really time travel. They space time travel or something. And then the Necrobot takes their dying spark and then puts all of their memories into a flower. And then Necrobot plants that flower on the statue of the bot that killed them. Everybody in here that's alive has a statue. If they are dead, the holographic projector of that statue is taken out. So if you're dead, you don't have a figure like this on top of your statue. If you're alive, your statue has that hologram projector on it. Everybody has their own flowers, and then Megatron went out looking for his. It is way off from where everybody found theirs. It is way off, and then he finds a field of flowers, a field of all the sparks he has taken, directly or indirectly. It made me cry, man. This panel made me cry. And this is the part where he starts realizing that, oh fuck, my delusions of grandeur, my violent tendencies has killed this many Cybertronians. It's like the first time he's coming to terms with the fact that his and Optimus's war has taken so many lives and killed so many Cybertronians. Okay, Transformers Punishment. It's a trilogy related to the Dinobots, and I skimmed through this. Not well, also because the Dinobots in the IDW comics wasn't really interesting. I don't know. I don't find the Dinobots in the IDW lore interesting. It's a trilogy. I didn't read through this properly because I can't stomach this art. I don't remember the name of this artist, but they are a recurring artist for the IDW comics, and I really don't like how gritty their art is. I guess if you like that kind of thing, it's good, but I cannot stomach it. Hello, Ghost. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? The only thing you need to know is that it's a flashback series before Optimus went to Earth for the Transformers RID series. And then the Dinobots are killing Decepticons? Question mark? I don't really know why. And then Optimus Prime confronts them about killing Decepticons and says stop. And then the Dinobots fight with Optimus. Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday, you are a year older now. How do you feel? How's your joints? I hope your skin is clear. Hip hurts. That is a sign of aging. Welcome to the Elden life. Ito. And I think if I'm recalling this correctly, the Dinobots are angry at Optimus because before the Wreckers were a thing, Optimus was using the Dinobots as like his uh hounds, essentially. He points them at Decepticons or problems he wants taken care of without the Autobot code being like uh uh being, what do you call this, being shit on or something like that. Essentially, he gave them free reign to do whatever the fuck they want. They were the Wreckers before the Wreckers were the Wreckers. And they were angry at that because they didn't want to kill people, but Optimus was telling them to kill people. So, they're angry at him for it. And now that they're killing Decepticons like Optimus has always wanted them to, uh, Optimus wants them to stop. So yeah. Masgona, it was nice meeting you. Keep on loving Transformers. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, Kiryu! May Buddha bless you all with the peace and love, happiness. Thank you, man. Thank you. Moving on, Combiner Wars. Okay, I personally did not like the Combiner Wars. I skimmed through a lot of it. I don't remember. So, it is the introduction again of the Enigma of Combination, and they keep making babies. At this point in time, Optimus becomes an even bigger asshole, mostly to Starscream. Like, at this point, Starscream has more people believing in him than Optimus Prime, which is really funny. Starscream is the leader of Cybertron. He's mostly been scheming and blackmailing and stuff like that. But people know that he wants what's best for Cybertron, at least. They don't like his ways, but they know that he's doing it for the best of Cybertron. Optimus, on the other hand, is now being, he's kind of, what do you call this? He's leaning into the whole Prime thing. Beforehand, during the war, because of his upbringing, or his own arguments, or his own, disbeliefs, or like, how would you say this though? His own, what's the right word? He didn't like the Primes because of the past Primes have been always pretty shitty. He does not believe in the power of the Primes. But after the chaos, after the Dark Cybertron event, he started becoming delusional. He started becoming delusional and thinking, you know what? Maybe I can lead Cybertron into the better future as a Prime. A religious figure, not as a war figure. As a religious figure. Starscream does not like this because, it is taking attention away from him being the chosen one. If Optimus Prime is also the chosen one by the Primes, as the 13th Prime, and I'm also the chosen one by the Titans, who is Cybertron gonna follow? Clearly not you, Optimus. It has to be me. So they're fighting each other. Optimus is starting to like order or boss around Starscream as a Prime, using his title as Prime to boss him around. Starscream does not like that. Devastator is having a jealous fight. No, not yet done. I'm going to try and finish it up until the 3rd phase. So I'm gonna go through it really, really fast. Really, really fast. Devastator is now... Oh, at this point, Prowl is separated from Devastator, or like the Constructicons. Starscream has made Scoop into the 6th Constructicon. And now Prowl is separated from the Constructicons themselves, accidentally using the Enigma of Combination. I don't remember who else is joined with it, but Optimus Maximus is Optimus Prime with Prowl and a bunch of other Transformers, a bunch of other Cybertronians. And Devastator is like, why did you leave us for that, man? Why'd you leave us? Bye, Zacer. And then at this point, Elita 1 is introduced. My god! Elita 1 is an absolute unit in IDW. I love her. Because Elita 1, it is the Combiners War. Elita's colony is found on a dead Titan. They're flying out in space on a dead Titan. And then Swindle has, he's his own combiner, which is Menasor. He created it without the Enigma of Combination. He's really proud of it. And then Swindle dies. Spindle is killed. Transformers 2014. I don't remember much again about this. The only thing I remember is that Soundwave and his Decepticons are now residing in a space station in Jupiter. They're doing their own thing. Everybody starts noticing Starscream, and then like back in Cybertron, everybody starts noticing that Starscream keeps talking or arguing with himself when he's alone in his office. And then Starscream starts doing his fear police. Essentially kind of like I don't want to say nice, but he starts doing this secret police where they mostly tag Decepticons for bad behavior. Because again, public image wise, Starscream doesn't want the public to like think that he gives Decepticons special treatment. So what he ends up doing now is that, you know what, I'm not gonna give you special treatment, Decepticons. So what I'm gonna do instead is that I am going to police the fuck out of you so that everybody else likes me and everybody hates you, essentially. Needlenose. I forget who Needlenose is, but he tries to be Megatron. He rallies the Decepticons in Cybertron that is currently being subjugated by Starscream to rise up against Starscream, which is kind of funny. Anyway, then it turns out that Starscream has been talking to Bumblebee this entire time. He is Starscream's delusional conscience. Starscream believes that because of all the bad things that he's doing, and now that he's the leader of Cybertron, he feels like he's created Bumblebee to be his moral compass. That's what he believes. And he constantly argues with Bumblebee for Bumblebee telling him, like, we shouldn't do that. That's, like, wrong. And then Starscream just goes, shut up. I'm not gonna listen to you, my moral compass. I don't even know why my moral compass ended up looking like you, but you can shut the fuck up. Windblade! The second half of Windblade. So this is where, I really, really like the Windblade series. More colonies start appearing. So, it integrates a lot of the wider mainstream Transformers into the fold that wasn't introduced because the Phase 1 was mostly focused on the G1 characters. So, once the colonies are introduced, they start introducing some of the Transformer Prime original characters like Knockout and Breakdown, who is part of a colony that is mostly made up of fast Transformers or like race car type Transformers. We have the Beastformers planet. So a lot of them are the Predacons. They're all there. Starscream and Windblade work really... Oh, sa Beastformers pala, they have there's like Arachnid. Because there's like different versions of Arachnid. The Beastformer version of Arachnid, and then the Black Arachnia version from Transformers Animated, and then the Black Arachnia from Transformers Prime. They all exist at the same time, and it's really amazing how they made it work. So in the Beastformers colony, or the Predacons colony, the Black Arachnia title, it's a title. They're kind of like city speakers. They are able to see through... I know! Let me do this! I'm going to finish this, okay? I'm gonna finish this. It's almost done. It's almost done. The Black Arachnia is a title. They are essentially shamans. What is what they are. They can see through the strings of fate according to their titan. Or they're the city speakers of the Beastformers, the planet. Anyway, Starscream and Windblade work really well despite hating each other. Because now, there's so many colonies introducing themselves that Starscream is starting to lose control. And Windblade is telling Starscream that we have to integrate all of these colonies. If you want to keep your power, I will help you. But you have to let me do what I need to do. And Elita 1! My god, Elita 1. Elita 1 is so cool. And then the Council of Worlds is born. So, essentially, all the colonies has a representative that is part of a council. And then, Starscream is their head leader. As the leader of Cybertron, he is the president, essentially. Or he's the emperor, quote unquote. And then the Council of Worlds is his parliament. Sins of the Wreckers. Hindi pala Sins of the Wreckers yung isang. Anyway, Sins of the Wreckers. I barely remember this because I don't particularly like the Wrecker series. However, this is the one thing that I remember in it. Prowl is kidnapped by another one of his exes. A lot of these Transformers has so many exes. Prowl is one of them. Tarantula. I think Tarantula is a pneumosurgeon. I don't know why he wants to, like, I don't know what his deal with Prowl is. I don't remember. And then Verity is back after so long from being missing from the lore, from the canon. Verity is back. Springer is revived. I don't know how, and I don't remember how Springer died, but it might have been during the Garrus 9 incident. There's a new wrecker. There's a new set of wreckers that are trying to locate Prowl, and then there's Springer's retirement with Verity. Pretty cool. The Transformers holidays. Yes, this is part of the must read. According to the timeline that I read, you have to read through the holiday special. It's very cute. The only thing you need to know here is that it is canon. It is canon. The only thing you need to know about this is that Starscream actually has people that care for him now. Even if just for a little bit, the people that Windblade, Rattrap, his secretary, the Council of Worlds, Wheeljack, Scoop, they actually care for Starscream. He has a bunch of people that care for him now. And he actually cares for them too. And I think that's really neat. But, you know, he does have a tendency to self-sabotage. So at the end of the day, these people also hate him. They like him, but they also hate him. The Lost Knight celebrates Christmas. They have this little cute thing here. Rodimus and Megatron are fighting over a Christmas cracker, I think. And then Minimus Ambus is here looking pretty cool, pretty proud of their Christmas tree. Thundercracker is being domestic with Marissa Fairborn and their dog during Christmas. It's pretty nice. I love it. And then continuing on with issues 45 and 49. A lot of fighting from the Decepticons, currently led by Galvatron, and the Autobots on Earth. I don't remember much, but this is where Optimus's delusion becomes really fucking annoying. So, as I said earlier, Optimus was actually anti-religious the entire time he was Prime with the Matrix of Leadership, because he equates the Matrix of Leadership with corruption and the corrupted power of the history of the Primes. Oh, there it is. I wrote notes here. Okay, so the religious worship of the Kamians. The Kamians is the colony that Windblade is from. The religious worship of the Kamians is starting to get to his head. He's starting to like second guess if it was his destiny to become a Prime as the 13th missing Prime. He runs so far with this because what he ends up doing is that he kind of forces his beliefs onto Earth. It's kind of, it's so frustrating. Anyway, Blackrock is actually a sleeper agent placed on Earth by Onyx Prime to find the Enigma of Combination, which is, I don't know where it is in the timeline, because the Enigma of Combination he used to have, which now Starscream has. Anyway, remember when I said Blackrock was a techno-organic? So he was put there by Onyx Prime, one of the Primes, one of the 13 Primes. And now, during this fight with Galvatron, Optimus awakens a Titan on Earth, which backs up his claim that Earth should be part of the Council of Worlds as a colony of Cybertron, because there's a Titan in it. Titans are... yeah, every colony has a Titan. So, if Earth has a Titan, it means it's a colony of Earth. It's a colony of Cybertron. It makes everyone lose their shit. The Cybertronians don't want it. The humans don't want it. Only Optimus wants it. But he keeps pushing for it. Okay, Transformers Redemption. Again, I don't remember much about this. This is a Dinobot. This is part of this is the second Dinobot trilogy. So the Dinobots are out there delivering cargo out into the wilderness. Turns out they're holding a new spark. Like new sparks, essentially new Cybertronians. And then they band together to hunt Bludgeon at the end. Bludgeon is a phase 1 character. He was a believer of what's it? Thunderwing? Thunderwing is, again, going back, Thunderwing is a Transformer, a Decepticon, a upgraded Decepticon that meshed his body with organics and turned him immortal. So, and then his death, or the war that or the fight that killed him, turned Cybertron into turned it uninhabitable. Anyway, I don't remember much about this. Moving on. Okay. Transformers 2014, also known as All Hail Optimus. The worst Optimus to ever grace my comic pages, actually. At this point in time, I shit you not when I say I like Starscream more as the leader than Optimus. Even Rodimus would probably be better would be a better leader than Optimus at this point. Because like Optimus stubbornly really wants Earth to be part of Cybertron. Like I said, Earth doesn't want this, Cybertron doesn't want this. He's starting to enforce his morals on the rest of Cybertron, like the primes of old that he rejected. And all because he saw a vision of dying Cybertron. Again! Like, I get it, but it's so frustrating to read. So again, Cybertron tries to prove their worth to Earth. Like saying, okay, this is what we can offer back. Please, nobody likes IDW Optimus. A lot of the fans don't like IDW Optimus because of this shit. Which is kind of funny as well, because remember there is a run of All Hail Megatron. It's kind of the same. It's kind of like a parallel. It's kind of his downfall as a Prime. Anyway, Optimus Prime blackmails Soundwave to work for or with him. Because I think the reason why is Soundwave ended up assassinating Ratbat. Ratbat, who was trying to, like, way back in the first, when they were first doing revitalizing Cybertron, or like having a government. Ratbat tried to lobby himself as a politician again to be a leader of Cybertron. And then Soundwave was like, nah, we gotta take him down, and then kills him. So he does, so essentially that gives Soundwave a, I don't really remember, but Optimus blackmails Soundwave. Starscream is on that cancel culture against Prime. Because like I said, he doesn't want any attention, or like the divided attention between him, the Chosen One, and Optimus Prime, the reincarnation of the 13th Prime. He doesn't want that. So he starts canceling Starscream. He would have succeeded. Oh, this is the part. Hindi pala beforehand. So he would have succeeded in canceling Optimus Prime because, again, nobody wants whatever the shit Optimus is. Nobody wants the annexation of Earth with Cybertron, and Cybertron doesn't want to annex Earth. He would have succeeded with his cancel propaganda if only Optimus didn't make a Titan rise from Earth, proving that Earth is a colony of Cybertron. And then at the very end of this series, Optimus kills Galvatron. He kills him. He's so done with this motherfucker. He kills him. And then more than meets the eye. Are we ready for motherfucking trauma? I cried so hard in these issues. Okay, so the dying of the like. The only thing you need to know in this is that Getaway, a character, a season 2 character, Getaway, which joined the ship after Megatron was indicted into the Lost Light crew. Getaway decided to do a mutiny against the Rodimus Squad, as he calls it. The Rodimus Squad is mostly composed of people that think Megatron should be given a second chance, or anybody that thinks that Rodimus is a good captain. And the way that Getaway found, like, the people that would be okay with mutinizing against them is that he asked people where they stood with Megatron and stuff like that. He initially wanted Rodimus to be on his side, but the more that Rodimus and Megatron kind of found a common ground, and Rodimus started liking Megatron, and they started to actually co what do you call this? Co-captain the ship. Rodimus's idea of Megatron started to shift, and he kind of likes the guy now. So that's when Getaway said, you know what, everybody deserves to fucking die. So he ships them off to the Necrobot planet and leaves them there without any means of getting out. And also the DJD is there. They're hunting down Megatron and Rodimus' squad. The Decepticon Justice Division is hunting Megatron down for defecting, which is kind of funny. But you know, he's not exempt from the DJD's goal. He's not exempt. So they hunt him down. A lot of them die. At this point in time, Megatron does a vow of peace, which is he doesn't want to kill anybody anymore. Remember in the previous issue when he found the flower beds, or the flower bed of all the bots that he's killed, directly or indirectly. After that, he decides to make a vow of peace. He says he's never going to become violent ever again. He takes off his cannon. He unarms himself so that he doesn't answer the call of violence anymore. Oh no, I lost some of the pictures! No! Okay, wait, hold on. Let me just do this. No! 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 Show yourself, no! Okay, damn it! Wait, can I, is it in the uploads? It has to be in the uploads. Okay. Let's try it again. No! I was gonna show you pictures of what happened. Okay, never mind then. It doesn't want to show. It doesn't even show. Anyway, the first picture here is of Tailgate and of Cyclonus protecting Tailgate so that he doesn't die. And then this is a picture of Nautica and Skids. Well, Nautica crying over Skid's dead body, and then here is a panel of Megatron doing a kamikaze thing with the DJD's leader Tarn and another guy. I forget Detsaurus, because the Tarn ends up allying himself with a faraway sect of Decepticons led by Detsaurus. I think he's a Japanese animated character that they put in the greater lore of IDW afterwards, around MTMTE issues. But anyway, using a force field, Megatron traps them in a bubble, and then using his latent dark force powers from like when he was still a space bridge. Oh, good night, Flak. Good night. I'm just about done. He decides to kamikaze kill Tarn and Detsaurus, and then Rodimus pops out on the portal and says, "Hey, come with me. You don't deserve to die. You deserve a second chance. Take my hand, and we'll survive both of this." And then the face that Megatron gives Rodimus is just, oh, he's so resigned to his fate. He's ready to fucking die. But anyway, he takes his hand. He takes Rodimus' hand, so Megatron survives. Till all are one. We're almost done. We are almost done. Wait, hold on. Where is it? Presenter view. Up. And then we're gonna open this. There you go. And then give me this. Yes. Still all are one. So, okay, this is another favorite of mine. Although Sarah Stone is now replaced by Sarah Pietri Droscher. However, oh my god, the art style of Sarah, the other Sarah, the second Sarah, is actually pretty neat. Sarah Stone's style is very painterly, so it's very simplified. It's a lot of colors. It looks nice. I like the way that she draws the robots, because she's also a robot fucker. If you look at her Twitter or her Blue Sky, she does a lot of hot robots. The other Sarah is very mecha. Like, she draws mechas more cleanly. the shapes are more defined. And she makes everybody look hot as well. Ito na. Anyway, the only thing you need to know about is that the public starts rioting against Starscream's secret police. Starscream's plans with Swindle's dead body was like, remember in the Combiner War, Starscream kills Swindle to destroy Menasor. And then, or the Combaticons, which is Menasor. He plans to do something with Swindle's dead body. He's not revealed yet. Chromia confesses to her crimes, which essentially frees Windblade from Starscream's blackmail. This gives Windblade now a free rein to fuck up Starscream politically. And then the Titans Return event, apparently it's a comic line to sell toys. I have zero recall about these issues. Other than that, every colony had a Titan during the Prime's initial expansion of Cybertron, and all the Titans are now on their way back to Cybertron to start a war or something. That's all I remember, and that is where I will end my stream, because the last phase, the Hasbro universe would directly connect to the Unicron ending, the ending of IDW universe. But hey, that's all. I did extend for like 18 minutes, but that is the end of my presentation for today. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I did not expect to be able to go through most of this today, but we ended up doing it. Ito, let's see, what is there left for me to announce? Thank you for the hydrate. Hydrate or dihydrate? Thank you. Okay, you can check out my socials. You can check out my socials for any updates on whether or not I will be streaming tomorrow, but I probably will. I will probably stream tomorrow, and again, it would be a handcam stream, so I don't know if I will be using my model. Click the link! What link? What link? Ito, and then, I will probably use a PNG for tomorrow instead of a... I don't want to click the link! I'll click it later, after the stream. Ito, what is it? Oh yeah, for the tomorrow, I will continue. It's a Hasbro toy. Later. You can send it on Discord, which, by the way, is here. We have a mecha channel on Discord. You can put anything you want there, and I will definitely open it without suspicion. If you put it here on stream, I probably won't open it. So go on Discord and then put it on the mecha channel. I will open it and check it out. Eto, yeah. Again, tomorrow I will continue the rest of Phase 3. Yeah, while also doing the Rodimus Prime Flame Toy. I will do that tomorrow and on Thursday, and also for the rest of other yaps that I want to yap about. For the week that I wasn't here when I was streaming. Ito, what else? Yeah, of course, we have our YouTube channel. If you're interested in checking out some of the past streams, I haven't uploaded any of the streams past Resident Evil and ito, let me just take this out. Whoop! Past Resident Evil stream, but ito, yeah. I've just kept saying ito. What else? That's about it. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's look for somebody to raid. Thank you so much again for joining, by the way, and all the new people that jumped by to say hi. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Okay, let me find somebody to raid. Oh, wrong one. Who is up? No. No, who is up? Oh. No longer! I'm no longer down with the sickness! Yeah, it doesn't work for everybody anymore. I think I need to fix that. To add you to the streamer bot. I probably haven't fixed it yet. Hold on, let me figure out who are we raiding. Let's raid Din! Yeah, it's end stream already! You were late for like 3 hours! Don't worry, I will be streaming again tomorrow. Don't worry about it! Eto, S-O, Tininin. We'll go to Tinanin's channel. Who is our founder of PHB Bayanihan? We will be having a stream with PH Bayanihan on Friday. A Valentine's related event that I will be hosting in Tin's channel. I don't know if I will be streaming it. We will have to figure out if Tin can handle streaming it with all of the components that she has to do. But if not, I will be streaming it on my channel. We will see. We will see. Ito. Alright. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I hope everybody enjoyed my little yap about the Transformers. There will be more tomorrow, and I will see you all again tomorrow night. Oyasumi nasai. Arigatou gozaimasu.